welcome you all to the Durga Puja at Belur Math, the headquarters of the Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission. Today is the Maha Navami Tithi of the Holy Durga Puja. The worship related to the Maha Navami Tithi will soon begin. All arrangements have been completed in the Puja Mandap in front of the image of Devi. As on the previous 2 days of the puja, today on the Maha Navami Tithi also, after a brief puja of the Devi, the Navapatrika Snana and the Maha Snana will be done. And after that, a detailed Shodashopachara Puja for Devi Durga and her Parivara Devatas will be performed. These pujas will take few hours to be completed. And after the completion of the Shodashopachara Puja and related rituals, Bhoga and Arati will be conducted as on the previous days. Devi Durga will be offered Bhog followed by Arati. In addition to this, symbolic Bali and the Maha Homa will be performed today. In Belur Math, for the Bali, no animal sacrifice is done. It is just performed symbolically. And the Homa, which is the fire sacrifice, will be done today at noon. This fire worship, which is part of the puja, is also known as the Tantrika Brihad Homa. Though the basic structure of the Homa is Vedic, it is done by adhering to the conventions of the Tantric liturgy. Durga Puja is a very important festival throughout our country. The main part of the Durga Puja begins from Maha Saptami. On the previous day of Maha Saptami, that is on the Shashti Tithi, the Devi was invoked in a branch of the Bilva Vriksha, the bell tree. And then on the Saptami Tithi, Devi Durga was invoked in a group of 9 plants known as the Navapatrika. These 9 plants include a branch of bell also, and they are bundled together and given a ceremonial bath. Navapatrika Snana it is called. Then Navapatrika is covered with an orange colored cloth and installed on a wooden seat on the right side of the image of Mother Durga. On the Saptami Tithi, Navapatrika Snan is followed by the Mahasnan, the great bath of Devi Durga. The Mahasnan was performed on a mirror, hence the name Adarsha Snapanam. It was performed using various materials and waters from different sources. And after the Mahasnana, the consecration and divinization of the image took place. The ritual is known as the Prana Pratishtha. It was followed by an elaborate worship. The worship of the Devi was done with 16 items of offering, and this puja is therefore known as the Shodashopachara Puja. The other deities, many attending divinities, and a number of objects of veneration associated with the Devi and Belur Math are then worshipped. In the evening, Aratrikam was performed. The worship continued on the Ashtami Tithi yesterday. Two important components of the worship of Devi Durga yesterday were Kumari Puja in the morning and Sandhi Puja in the evening. And today, on the Maha Navami Tithi, the 9th day of the Navaratri, the pujas continue. Today at noon, after the completion of the puja, bhog and arati, the rituals will be concluded by performing Maha Homa, a grand fire sacrifice in honor of Devi Durga. The most striking aspect of the Durga Puja is the image of the Divine Mother as Mahishasura Mardini. In her Mahishasura Mardini form, the Divine Mother is seen as having 10 arms, each wielding a weapon. Durga Puja is performed in a gorgeous pandal erected adjacent to the iconic temple, the universal temple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Durga Puja is meant to be an occasion for public worship in which a large number of devotees participate. Belur Math erects a well-decorated pandal adjacent to the temple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa on the bank of the holy Ganga. And the puja mandap is set up in this pandal where the image of the Mahishasura Mardini Devi Durga is consecrated and worshipped. Devotees can see and approach the Divine Mother from the large area in front of her and from both sides as well. The Durga Puja at Belur Math is renowned for carefully adhering to all the aspects of a noble yajna: vidhi, annadana, mantra, dakshina, and bhakti shraddha. All the aspects of a noble worship are taken care of. Devotees arrive here in large numbers from early morning to witness the puja and offer pranams at the feet of Devi Mahishasura Mardini and partake the prasad. The presence of the devotees and their participation make the Durga Puja at Belur Math a real Virat Puja. As the poet voiced it, God doth not need either man's work or his own gifts. Who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His state is kingly, thousands at his bidding speed, and post over land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. The celebration of Durga Puja is a unique feature of the socio-religious culture of the people of Bengal. Probably in no other part of India does the worship of Durga affect the lives of the people so deeply as it does in Bengal. Here the festivities begin from the day of Mahalaya, which is the first day of the Navaratri period. During this period, people put on new clothes, worship the Divine Mother at any of the beautiful Durga pandals put up in different parts of the city, town, or the village, and enjoy feasts. The image of Devi Durga in the Puja Mandap is that of Mahishasura Mardini. In her Mahishasura Mardini form, the Divine Mother is seen as having 10 arms. Each of the arms has a divine weapon. Devi Durga rides on a furious lion. She is Simhavahini. The Mahishasura is depicted at the foot of the Divine Mother. The murals make the Puja Mandap beautiful. Many traditional artisans work together to erect this gorgeous Durga Mandap. It is well decorated. Mother Durga is described as the Dasha Praharana Dharini. She has 10 arms and each of them hold a weapon. This is the form of the Divine Mother which inspired the poet Bankim Chandra Chatterjee to conceptualize the holy land of India as Devi Durga itself. Devi Durga herself has become our motherland. Tum hi Durga Dashapraharana Dharini, says the poet in his famous poem Vande Mataram, which is our national song as well. Kamala Kamala Dala Viharini, Vani Vidyadayini, Namami Tvam, Namami Kamalam, Amalam, Atulam, Sujalam, Suphalam, Mataram, Vande Mataram. You are indeed the 10-handed Durga. You are the goddess of wealth, Kamala, the Lakshmi, residing on the lotus. You are the bestower of the power of speech and knowledge, Goddess Saraswati. I pray to you, I salute you, O pure, unmatched Goddess Kamala. You are blessed with water resources, blessed with plenty of fruits. Salutations to you, O Mother India. The morning puja to Devi Durga is about to begin. Brahmachari Shubhrato Maharaj, the priest, has taken his ceremonial seat. He is assisted by the Tantradharak, Swami Shastrajnanandaji Maharaj. Once the image of Devi Durga is consecrated, the deity is invoked in it. It undergoes a transformation. Mrinmayi is now the Chinmayi. It is no longer a clay image, but the living goddess radiating power, knowledge, love and joy, the benign mother of the universe who has come to bless her children and assure them of her love, her help and protection. Chandi part is an integral part of the Durga Puja. Swami Shastrajnanandaji Maharaj is the Tantradharak and Swami Tattvasaranandaji will perform Chandi Parayana on all the puja days at Belur Math. During the 9 days of Navaratri, the holy book of Sri Sri Chandi, otherwise known as Durga Saptashati, is recited every day in the morning. The holy book of Durga Saptashati is also known as Sri Sri Chandi and Devi Mahatmyam. Recital of Sri Sri Chandi is done along with the worship of Goddess Chandi. In Belur Math, as part of the Durga Puja, Sri Sri Chandi Puja and Chandi Path are done during the first 5 days of the Navaratri in a corner of Nat Mandir, the central hall of the temple of Sri Ramakrishna, and from the 6th day of the Navaratri, the worship and recital of the holy book are done near the Durga Mandap itself.
गच्छतयः तिष्ठतयः सन्निहिता भवत यः सन्निरुद्धा भवत यः सम्मुखी भवत अत्राधिष्ठानं कुरुत मम पूजां गृह्णीत
Devi Durga is invited by mantras to make her presence felt and accept the offerings. The Navami Puja has begun.
Offering
of Masha Bhakta Bali.
नितिगन्धपुष्पेतत् सम्प्रदानाय एतत् सम्प्रदानेभ्यो भूतादिभ्यो नमः एषमाशभक्तबलियों भूतादिभ्यो नमः भूतापसारणम् ओम सर्वविघ्नानुत्सारय हुं पट स्वाहं अपसर्पन्तु ते भूताये भूता भूषणस्थिता ये भूता विघ्नकर्तारस्ते नश्यन्तु शिवाज्ञया.
Worship of the Bhutas and eradicating the obstacles. Om Gandhadvaram Duradharsham Nitya Pushtankari Shrinim Ishwarim Sarvabhutanam Twami Hopa Vaishriyam Om Apyayasu Sametu Te Vishwata Soma Vrishtam Bhavavajasya Sangathe Om Dadikrabno Akarisham Jashno Rashvasya Bajinahasrabhino Mukhakarat Pranayayung Shitarishat Om Tejasi Shukramasya Amritamasi Dhamanamasi Priyam Anadrishtam Priyam Devanamanaadrishtam Devajajaramasi Om Devasatva Savita Parsave Ashrinarbahubhyam Pushno Hastabhyamadadi Om Bhurbhuvatsat Saviturvarenyang Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat Om Panchamrita Shodhanam. Purification of the items to be used in the worship.
Madhuvatarutayate madhuksharanti sindhavah madvirna santoshadi madhunaktamutoshaso madhumataparthibang rajaha madhudyaurastu napita madhumanno vanaspatir madhumangastu surya madvirgavo bhavantu naha Om Tejasi Shukramasya Amritamasi Dhamanamasi Priyan Devanamanadrishtam Devajajaramasi Dugdhamapyayastu Sametu Te Vishwata Soma Vrishnam Bhavavajasya Sangathe Dadhyam Dadikrabno Akarisham Jishno Raswasya Vajinahassurabhino.
The Durga Puja with image of the Devi was performed for the first time in Belur Math under the directions of Swami Vivekananda in 1901.
Abhyukshanam Om Hrim Navapatrika Om Hrim Navapatrika Adhishtita Devatabhyo Namaha.
That year, Navami Tithi fell on the 21st of October. It was a Monday.
Om Panchagabhya Snanam Om Ram Hridayaya Namaha Gomai Om
The snana has begun. The purified offerings are given one by one, uttering the Vedic mantras.
Dadhana Om Hraim Kavachayahum Gritena Om Hraum Netratrayaya Vaushat Ushodakena Om Hrakkaratara Prishtabhyamastraya That Panchamrita Snanam Om Rham
The Maha Snana,
Panchamritam,
when the puja begins,
Adu Dugdhena
is an important part of the Navami Puja.
Dadhana Om Hring Shirashe Swaha.
As on the previous 2 days of the puja, today on the Maha Navami Tithi also, Navapatrika Snana and Maha Snana are performed.
Om Hrakkaratara Prishtabhyamastraya Phat.
Various waters are offered for the snana of the Devi. The rituals specifically enjoined
चंदन मिश्रित
as
उष्ण
part of
जलेन
the Navami Puja
ओम
begin
कदली
only
तदि
after the
संस्थासि
Snana
विष्णु
ceremony of the
वक्षस्थलस्थिते
Navapatrika.
नमस्ते पत्रिके देवी नमस्ते सुरनायिके ओम ह्रीं ब्रह्माण्यै नमः पुष्पजलेन ओम कच्चित्वं स्थावरस्तासि सदा सिद्धिप्रदायिनि
Navapatrika
दुर्गारूपेण
is a
सर्वत्र
collection of
स्नानेन
9
विजयं कुरु
different
ओम ह्रीं
plants and creepers.
कालिकायै नमः वापी जलेन
Some of
ओम
them are
हरिद्रे हर
branches of certain
रूपासि
trees and
शङ्करस्य
shrubs,
सदा प्रिये
and some other
रुद्ररूपेण सा
are
देवी
herbs
मम
and
शान्तिं
creepers.
प्रयच्छतु ओम ह्रीं दुर्गायै नमः शिशिरजलेन जयन्ती
Rambha,
जय
Kachi,
रूपासि
Haridra cha,
जगतां जय हेतवे
Jayanti,
भक्त्या
Bilvadadimau,
सम्पूजयामि त्वां जयं देवी
Ashoko,
नमोऽस्तु ते ओम ह्रीं
Ashoko,
कार्तिकेयै नमः
Manakaschaiva,
सर्वौषधिजलेन ओम
Dhanyancha
श्रीफलोश्री
Navapatrika, says the
निकोटनिकेतोऽसि सदा
scriptures.
विजयवर्धन देहि मे
They are
हितकामांश्च
the
प्रसन्नो
Rambha,
भव
the
सर्वदा
Kachi.
ओम ह्रीं शिवायै नमः
Rambha
पंचकषाय
is the
जलेन
banana
ओम
plant. Kachi
दारिण्यगविनाशाय
is
क्षुन्नाशाय च
commonly known
वेधसा
in Bengali as Kochu.
निर्मिताफलकामाय प्रसीद त्वं
Haridra
हरप्रिये
is
ओम ह्रीं
is turmeric.
रक्तदन्तिकायै नमः
Jayanti,
सुगन्धिजलेन ओम स्थिरावव
Sesbania
सदा
sesban,
दुर्गे यशोके
Bilva, the bell
शोकहारिणि
or
मया
stone
त्वं
apple.
पूजिता दुर्गे स्थिरावव
Dadima is
हरप्रिये ओम
pomegranate,
ह्रीं
known in
शोकरहितायै
Bengal
नमः
as
कर्पूरजलेन
Dalim.
ओंगमान्या त्वं मानवृक्षेषु
Ashoka, Saraka
माननीयासुरासुरै
indica,
नमामि त्वां
Manaka,
महादेवीं मानं देहि नमोऽस्तु ते
the
ॐ ह्रीं
giant taro,
चामुण्डायै नमः
commonly known in Bengal
गङ्गाजलेन
as
ॐ
Mankochu,
लक्ष्मीस्त्वं
and Dhanya, the
धान्यरूपासि
rice plant.
सर्वेषां प्राणदायिनी
Each
स्थिरात्यन्तं
of
हिनो
these plants
भूत्वा गृहे
has its own
कामप्रदा भव
Adhishthatri
ॐ
Devi
ह्रीं
also.
महालक्ष्म्यै नमः
Brahmani is the Adhishthatri Devata of Rambha.
महास्नानम्
Kalika
आदौ बिल्वकाष्ठम्
is of Kochu or Kachi.
तद् अनन्तरम् उष्णोदकम्
Haridra has its Adhishthatri Devata as Durga or Uma.
अनन्तरं प्रार्थना ओमायुर्बलं यशोर्वच्च प्रजा पशुवसूनि च ब्रह्म प्रज्ञां च
Jayanti
मेधां च
plant
तन्नो
has
देवी
Kartiki
वनस्पते
as its
ॐ व्यूहध्वं
Adhishthatri Devata.
सोमरायायमागमत् समे मुखं
Shiva is the
समार्क्ष्यते यशसा
Adhishthatri
च
Devata
वर्णेन
of
च
Bilva Vriksha.
श्वेततण्डुलचूर्ण
Dadima has Raktadantika
उष्णोदकम्
as
ॐ
its
चित्रं
Adhishthatri Devata.
दिवानमुद्गादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्य
Ashoka has
प्राज्ञावान्तरिक्षं
Shokarahita as the
सूर्यात्मा
presiding deity.
जगतस्तस्थूषश्च प्रार्थना
Mankochu has Chamunda
देवहितं पुरस्तात्
and
शुक्रमुच्चरत्
Dhanya
पश्येम
has
शरदशतं
Mahalakshmi.
जीवेम शरदशतं शृणुयाम शरदशतं
The plants were
प्रब्रवाम
bound together
शरदशतं
on the Saptami
अधीनस्याम
morning,
शरदशतं भूयश्च
draped with
शरदशता
red bordered
तैलहरिद्रा ओम नानारूपधरे
orange
देवी
colored
दिव्यवस्त्रावगुंथिते तवानुलेपमात्रेण
giving the
चित्रदोषो
impression of a
विनश्यतु
Vadhu, a young bride.
चन्दनम्
For this
उद्वर्तयामि
reason,
देवी त्वां
the
यथेष्टं
Navapatrika is famously known as the Kola bow in Bengali.
प्राप्नुयां
Kola means
प्रार्थना।
banana or the banana plant, and bow means the bride.
परमेश्वरी आदर्शे
Kola bow represents Devi Durga.
शीतोष्ण सुभाषित जलम शीतोष्ण
Navapatrika Snana and Navapatrika Puja, the worship of the Navapatrika Vasini Devi Durga, formed an important part. They form important components in the worship of Devi Durga. Now we can see the Mahasnana being performed.
ओम ह्रौं नेत्रत्रयाय बहुषट्
Various upacharas, consecrated items are offered with Veda mantras and proper mudras.
अग्निमीले पुरोहितं यज्ञस्य देवमृत्युजं होतारं रत्नधातमं अमिषेतोर्येत्वा वायवस्तदेव वसविता प्रार्पयतु श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणे अमग्नायाहि वीतये गृणानो हव्यदातये निहोता सत्शिवारिषि.
The Mahasnana of Devi Durga is done in the morning of Saptami, Ashtami and the Navami Tithis. The Mahasnana is a very special liturgical service conducted during the puja. Mahasnana
भृंगारस्नान नदी जले
is performed with a number of items offered as part of the Abhisheka ceremony to Devi Durga. Oil and other articles for the Abhyanga of the Devi are offered, followed by waters from various sources. We can see Bhringara Snana. At first, Taila, Haridra, Chandana, Pituli and Panchashasya Churna are offered to Mother Durga for her Abhyanga, and then the waters for Abhisheka are offered one by one with the accompaniment of mantras and the auspicious ringing of the ceremonial bell. Sheetala Jalam is offered, cold water. Rajata Jalam or Mukta Jalam, water with silver or pearls. Padma Renu Mishrita Jalam, water with lotus pollen. Nadi Jalam, water from the rivers with feminine features. And again Narikela Jalam, coconut water. Nirjhara Jalam, water from a cascade. Shankha Jalam, water preserved in a conch shell. Shishira Jalam, dew drops collected in a vessel for this purpose. Sarvatirtha Jalam, the collection of waters from the main tirthas of our country. Ganga Jalam, water from the holy Ganga. Guda Jalam, water mixed with molasses. Chandana Yukta Jalam, water mixed with sandal paste. Ushna Jalam, warm water. Karpura Jalam, water mixed with camphor. Shuddha Jalam, pure water without any ingredient added. Gandhadhya Jalam, fragrant water. Tila Jalam, water mixed with sesame. Pavitra Jalam, Aguru Jalam, Pushpa Jalam, Pushkarini Jalam, Phalodakam, Vrishti Jalam, Ikshu Jalam, Panchakashaya Jalam, water performed, water made fragrant with flowers, perfumed with agru, water from a pond, fruit juices, rain water, sugar cane juice, Panchakashaya Jalam, a decoction made from the fruits of 5 kinds of medicinal plants, collectively referred to as the Panchakashaya. Kumkumodakam, water mixed with the pigments called kumkum. Pancharatna Jalam, water with 5 precious gems: sapphire, diamond, ruby, pearl and coral. And Sugandhi Jalam, perfumed water. Kushodakam, water with kusha grass. Nada Jalam, water from the rivers with masculine features. Swarna Jalam, water with gold. And Sagara Jalam, water from the ocean. Panchagavya is offered.
गन्धद्वारां दुराधर्षां नित्यपुष्टाङ्करीष्णीम् ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां त्वामिहोपवै श्रियम् पवित्राकारं भूमिर्विदुतिः कारणं परं गोमयं सर्वपापघ्नं तेन त्वां स्नापयाम्यहं दुग्धेन ओमाप्यायश्च समेतुते विश्वतः सोमवृष्ण्यं
Mahamaya, the universal mother, is the power that creates, sustains and destroys the whole universe. She is an expression of the motherhood of God. The Durga Saptashati describes the glories of Devi Durga, her Leelas and Avadanas. Devi's divine play is meant for our devout contemplation. In the first part of the Durga Saptashati, Devi Durga is described as the Yoga Nidra of Bhagavan Vishnu. She is both Vidya and Avidya. She is the binding power, the limiting power, as well as the liberating power. She is the knowledge as well as ignorance. Mahamaya is the power of tamas, which makes people lethargic, indolent and sleepy. Under the influence of this cosmic delusive power of Devi Durga, Lord Vishnu went to sleep, says Sri Sri Chandi Grantha. At that time, two demons by name of Madhu and Kaitabha emerged, and they tried to attack Brahma, the creator God. Brahma then praised the Divine Mother as Mahamaya or Yoga Nidra. Pleased with the petition, Devi withdrew herself from Vishnu's body. Vishnu now woke up and killed Madhu and Kaitabha.
Om Hrim Durgayai Namaha Rajata Jalena. Om Ambike Varade Devi Jagatam Hitakarini Raupyadakena Devi Tvam Snapayami.
At Belur Math, the Navami Puja as part of the Durga Puja celebrations has begun. Devi's Maha Snana is underway in the Puja Mandap.
Om Chandikayai Namaha.
Brahmachari Shubrato Maharaj is performing the puja, assisted by Tantradharak Swami Shastratnanandaji Maharaj.
Vishnu Tailena. Om Hrim Chamundayai Namaha. Aguru Jalena. Om Gang Gauriyai Namaha. Pushkarini Jalena. Om Hrim Kalikayai Namaha.
An assortment of waters collected from various sources is offered by uttering mantras as part of the Mahasnana ceremony.
Om Yavagodhu Mamudaga Budgasta Tilascha Dhanyamivacha Etatto Ena Deveshi Snapayami Prasidame. Om Rimumayai Namaha. Kunkumodakena. Om Kaushikya Namaha. Sharkaraya. Om Sharkare Madhure Snigdhe Deva Moda Vivardhini.
Mahasnana is an important component of the morning puja on all the days of the Durga Puja.
Om Yoso Malayajo Vrikshasau Gandhyan Nilaya Sada Tajjalasthana Matrena Varada Vavashobhane. Om Kalyai Namaha. Yavadhanya Dichurna. Om Vaishnavyai Namaha. Mrittika Snanam.
Knowing the meaning of a ritual is a part of its performance. And no ritualistic action is possible without knowing its meaning, says Mimamsa Nyaya Prakasha. Arthajnanasya karmanushthanaangatvam
पर्वत
न हि
ॐ
अर्थज्ञानमन्तरेण
माहेश्वर्यै नमः
अनुष्ठानं
देवद्वार
सम्भवति।
ॐ ब्रह्माण्यै नमः सरोवर ॐ पद्मावत्यै नमः नद्या उभयकुल ॐ त्रिनेत्रायै नमः
Therefore,
यज्ञशाला ॐ नारायण्यै नमः
it is very important
राजद्वार
that
ॐ
we understand
अपराजितायै नमः
the significance of
चतुष्पथ
the
ॐ
puja.
जयन्त्यै नमः गंगा ॐ हैमवत्यै नमः कुशमूल ॐ शिवायै नमः नद
The
ॐ
term
ह्रीं माहेश्वर्यै नमः
Arthajnana,
नदी
knowledge of the
ॐ
meaning,
ह्रीं
refers to
शिवायै
both the
नमः
meaning of the rituals
सागर
as well
ॐ
as the
ह्रीं
meaning of the mantras.
कात्यायन्यै नमः गोष्ठ ॐ ह्रीं इन्द्राण्यै नमः
The inner meaning of every ritual and meaning corresponding to each of the mantras must be known to the worshipper. Having known the meaning,
ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुष सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपाद
the worshipper
सभूमिं
will be able to
सर्वतस्त्वा
perform the rituals
अत्यतिष्ठत्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुषैवेदं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च
in a more
भाव्यम् उतामृतत्वस्य
meaningful
शानो
and significant way,
यदन्नेनातिरोहति
in a fruitful way.
एतावानस्य महिमात ज्यायांश्च पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध उदयित पुरुषः पादोऽस्येहा भवा
The Gita
भवतु पुनः
says,
ततो
he who
विश्वं
abandons the
व्याप्रामत्
commandments of the
शासनानशनीयाभि
scriptures
ततो विडाल
and
अजायत
leaves
विराज
as his
अदिति
desires
पुरुषः
prompt him,
स जातो
attains
अत्यरिच्य
neither
तपस्साद्
spiritual
भूमिमथो
perfection
पुरः
nor
तस्माद्
worldly
यज्ञः
happiness
सर्वभूतसम्भृतं
nor
पुरुषराज्यं
liberation.
पशूंस्तांश्चक्रे वायव्यानारण्याग्राम्याश्च ये तस्माद् यज्ञः सर्वभूतरुचः
The
सामानि
Purusha
जग्गिरे
Suktam
छन्दांसि जग्गिरे
from the
तस्माद्
Vedas
तस्माद्
is being
अजायत
chanted.
तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त ये केचो भयादतः गावोह जग्गिरे तस्मात् तस्माज्जाता
And
अजावयः
Snaniyodakam for Devi Durga is poured out
जातमग्रतः
from a bhringara.
दीनदेवाजजन्त साध्याऋषयस्य ये यत् पुरुषं व्यदधुः कथिता वैकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्यासीत् किं वाहु किमुरूपादा उच्यते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीद्बाहुराजन्यकृतः ऊरुतरस्य यद्वैश्यपद्भ्यां शूद्रो
All
अजायत
puja rituals begin with
चन्द्रमामनसो
preliminary
जातश्चक्षुः
purification.
श्रोत्राद्वायुश्च प्राणश्च
Only when one is pure in body and mind does he become eligible for any spiritual practice. One should therefore begin puja and sadhana only after purifying himself or herself. The main purpose of the preliminary purificatory rites is to attain Chitta Shuddhi and Deha Shuddhi. That is why the sadhaka or the archaka prays at the beginning of puja. He prays that he too may be able to perceive and realize Vishnu, the Supreme Reality, through the eye of wisdom. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabhahyabhyantara Shuchi, says the scriptures. The spiritual aspirant gets thoroughly purified both externally and internally by the remembrance of Vishnu, the lotus-eyed one. The Achamana and other purificatory rituals are followed by Swasti Vachana, pronouncing words of auspiciousness. This is a prayer for the success of the work undertaken as well as for the welfare of all beings. Jivas are mutually interrelated. The welfare of the individual depends on the welfare of the collective and vice versa. This idea is predominant in the mantra used for Swasti Vachana.
वसु पवित्रमसि सहस्रधारं देवस्त्वा
Let all people equally enjoy the fruits of my sadhana. Let there be welfare all around. This feeling for universal good and welfare generated by Swasti Vachana is very touching. Devi's Bhringara Snana is being performed in the Puja Mandap.
दुग्धेन अग्निमीलेति मन्त्रेण ऋग्वेदस्याद्ययानि च त्वां स्नापयतु गव्येन पयः कुम्भेन चण्डिकाम् इक्षुरसेन अमिषेत्वाख्येन मन्त्रेण स्नापयत्विक्षुजद्रवै षडशीतिभिधा युक्तो यजुर्वेदसुरेश्वरीं मधुना सहस्रशाखा संयुक्तः सामवेदो मधुद्रवै अग्न आयाहि मन्त्रेण त्वां स्नापयतु चण्डिकाम्.
An important message of the Shakta scriptures is the empowerment of women.
शन्नो देवीति मन्त्रेण देवी त्वामभिषिञ्चतु दधना
Durga Puja shows us to what heights this empowerment can be raised, how much power women can wield, how they can work independently. Though a mother is traditionally understood to perform functions like giving birth, nourishing her children, and to care and protect, in the Shakta scriptures, the mother goddess is not a disinterested spectator of the drama of human life. She is an active participant in our affairs. Of course, she is the nourisher. She gave birth to this universe. But more than that, she protects people from all dangers. There is this cosmic figure of the Divine Mother towering over millions of people, guarding them from dangers and punishing evildoers. अंगवारिना परिपूर्णेन पद्मरेणु सुगंधिना पंचमेनाभिषिञ्चन्तु नाकाश्च कलसेन तु निर्झरोदक ओम हिमवद्भीमकूटाद्य अभिषिञ्चन्तु पर्वता निर्झरोदक पूर्णेन Durga Puja wakes us up from our futile dreams and situates us right in the midst of the terrible realities of the present day world, which we often fail to see. It helps us to face the difficulties around us with courage, seek divine guidance, overcome our difficulties by sincerely surrendering to the divine power.
ओम धर्मो ज्ञानं च वैराग्यं तपस्यत्यं क्षमा धृतिः यशो विवेको नियमो
In the second part of the Chandi Grantha, Devi appears as Mahishasura Mardini and is also called Chandika.
यद ब्रह्म सृष्टाव्युत्पन्नं मूर्तं च मूर्तमिव च अचरं यच्चरं वापि
When a powerful demon by name Mahishasura was the king of the Asuras, they attacked the Devas and vanquished them. The defeated gods went to Shiva and Vishnu and complained about the atrocities of Mahishasura. Hearing this, Vishnu, Shiva and other presiding deities became angry. The rays of their anger combined to form a supremely powerful and dazzlingly bright female being, the Devi known also as Chandika and Ambika.
वरुणौ वरुणश्चैव स्नापयन्तु
Seeing the
शिवप्रियां
dazzling
मम
brightness of the Devi, Mahishasura first sent
देवकन्यास्तथैवाप्सरसाङ्गणः
his army to attack her.
गन्धोदकसमृद्धेन
But
घटेन
the Divine Mother
स्नापयन्त्विमं मम
exterminated them
विद्याधर
all.
पुष्पदन्तो हा हा हुश्च
Then
वीर्यवान्
Mahishasura, who had the
वीतवादित्रमूर्त्येन
form of a buffalo,
स्नापयन्तु महेश्वरी
himself attacked her.
दैत्याश्च दानवाश्चैव
Devi at
यातुधानः
once jumped upon
सहस्रशः
his body,
एतेषु मनसो
pressed his
भूत्वा
neck
भृङ्गारैः
with her foot,
स्नापयन्तु ते
struck
दुर्गा
his chest
चण्डेश्वरी
with her
चण्डी
spear,
वाराही
and
कार्तिकी
finally
तथा
cut off his
हरसिद्धा
head.
तथा काली भैरवी
The gods, being
सर्वरूपिणी
extremely
एतेषु
relieved and
मनसो
pleased,
भूत्वा
praised
भृङ्गारैः
the Devi,
स्नापयन्तु
and
ताम्
their praise takes up the rest of the second part of the Chandi. O Devi, you are Bhagavati, the supreme Vidya, which is the cause of liberation, the great inconceivable penances are the means for your realization. You are the supreme knowledge. You are cultivated by sages who desire liberation, whose senses are well restrained, who are devoted to reality. You are the soul of Shabda Brahman, O Devi. You are the repository of very pure Rig and Yajur mantras. You are the Sama mantras. You are the Bhagavati embodying the three Vedas. The Mahasnana ceremony of Devi Durga has been completed. There will be prayers after this, followed by an elaborate worship of Devi Durga. Medhasi Devi Viditakila Shastra Sara Durgasi Durga Bhava Sagara Naura Sanga Shri Kaita Bhari Hridayaika Kritadhivasa Gauri Twameva Shashimauli Krita Pratishtha. O Devi, you are the intellect by which the essence of all scriptures is comprehended. You are Durga, the boat that takes men across difficult ocean of worldly existence, devoid of attachments. You are Shri, who has invariably taken her abode in the heart of Vishnu. You are indeed Gauri, who has established herself with Shiva. You gently smile, you are pure, resembling the full moon's orb. Beautiful like the splendor of excellent gold is your face. It is so strange that being swayed by anger, Mahishasura suddenly struck your face when he saw it. After the Mahasnana ceremony, the puja mandapa is cleaned, and once again the puja materials will be arranged. For the worship of the Devi. Flowers are offered at the feet of Devi Durga. The various forms of the goddess or Shakti, which have been realized by various sages in ancient times, and which have been realized by long line of devotees subsequently, and which have been prescribed therefore as suitable for purposes of worship, are given various separate names. Although all these names denote the same entity, the same supreme power of Paramatman, each of these names are very significant. Each of these names is very significant in the Shakta liturgy and philosophy. Kali, the Devi, is called as Kali. She is called so because she devours Kala or time and assumes her own dark formlessness. She thus represents the aspect of dissolution. She is the Paravak, she is the Pashyanti, she is the Vaikhari, she is the Madhyama Vak. She is represented as Mukta Keshi, as having disheveled hair. Here also is a pun in the word Mukta Keshi, since the word also means the liberated stage of Ka, A and Isha, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Ishvara. When we perform Sandhi between Ka, A and Isha, we get the word Kesha. And Mukta Keshi means the liberated stage, the Mukti Avastha of Ka, A and Isha. Ka represents Brahma, the creator, A, the Lord Vishnu, and Isha, Ishvara, that is Shiva. It is also said to symbolically represent that she binds infinite number of jivas by bonds of Maya, symbolized by hair. Sa Maya Palini Shakti Srishti Samharakarini Sava Etasya Sangsrashtuhu Shakti Sadasadatmika. The Maha Nirvana Tantra says, Tvam para prakritihi sakshat brahmana paramatmano mahattatvadi bhutantam jagat nimittamatram tad brahma sarvakarana karanam tasya ichhamatram avalambya tvam mahayogini para karoshi pasi hangsi ante jagadetat characharam kalanat sarvabhutanam mahakalah prakirtitaha महाकालस्य कलनात् त्वमाद्या कालिका पराकालत्वाद् आदिभूतत्वाद् आद्या काली इति गीयते. Devi is Kalika, Devi is Parashakti, Devi is Mahamaya, she is Mahishasura Dalani, she is Vidya, she is Lakshmi, she is the mother. The Varaha Purana describes Devi Durga as the Jnana Shakti and the Mahishasura who is killed by her as a personification of Ajnana. Athava Jnana Shakti sa Mahishaha Ajnana Murtiman. She is called Daksha Yajna Vinashini because Vidya leads to the cessation of all purely ritualistic duties meant for the satisfaction of desires and which are unaccompanied by devotion to God. Daksha's yajna in the Puranas was only the ritual of a man who had no love for God, as in the case of an ordinary typical Mimamsaka. That is why he is represented as not having invited God Shiva to his yajna, thus leading to the immolation of Sati, which represents devotion to God, which was smothered by too much adherence to ritual. Devi is called Durga and is described to be of red color because of her Rajasic aspect. She is also depicted in slightly orange color, yellow color, hence the name Atasi Pushpavarnabha. Devi's Rajasic aspect makes her actively engaged in killing her enemies, these enemies being the obstacles to spiritual progress and realization in the form of temptations and miseries of samsara. The puja mantra of Devi Durga as given in Devi Bhagavata gives the derivation of the word or Devi Durga's name. The derivation of the word Durga is given thus: Durgat trayati bhaktam ya sa Durga artinashini Durjneya sarvadevanam tam Durgam pujayamyaham. Durga is so called because she removes the miseries of her devotees by destroying all obstacles in their spiritual progress, and because she is incapable of being comprehended or grasped by the devas who are our sense organs. This Durga I worship. Yasyaha parataram nasti saisha Durga prakirtita Durgat santrayate yasmat Devi Durgeti kathyate Prapadye sharanam Devi Dum Durge haritam hara. Durga is so called because there is nothing higher than the mother and because she protects the devotees from all obstacles to spiritual life. I seek protection from the mother. Please deign to remove my sins. This is the humble prayer of a devotee at the feet of Mother Durga. The Navami Puja has begun at Belur Math. The Pujak and Tantradharak have taken their ceremonial seat once again. Now is the Samanyarghya Sthapana, installing the Samanyarghya. The water of Samanyarghya will be used in the puja rituals. The word Durga was given to Mother Durga because she killed or she was expected to kill an asura called Durgama. Remembering her name, even merely uttering the word Durga is considered as auspicious. Durgeti kathyate yaha Durgeti kathyate yena tasya sarvepi vighnaha vinashyanti. The Kashi Khanda of the Puranas also refers to the destruction of the great Asura called Durgama. Durgama was also called Durgaha in masculine gender, and he was the personification of obstacles to realization. Asura Durgama represented the difficulties and obstacles that a spiritual aspirant has to face in his or her way towards spiritual fulfillment. The word Durga is also explained as Dukkena Prapyate Asau iti Durga. According to this, the name Durga is given because she can be realized only if one passes through difficult and painful processes of sadhana as per the Shastras.
इदम सोपकरण नैवेद्यमं वेतालेभ्यो नमः माश भक्त बलि बंगतस्मै माश भक्त बलाय नमः
Masha Bhakta Bali is offered as part of the puja.
गंध पुष्पे तस्मै माश भक्त बलाय नमः अमिते गंध पुष्पे तदधिपतये देवाय श्री विष्णवे नमः इते गंध पुष्पे अमित संप्रदानेभ्यो वेतालेभ्यो नमः ओं वृक्षेषु पर्वताग्रेषु पातालेषु च ये स्थिताः अन्तरिक्षे स्थिता ये च ते तु गृह्णन्त्विमं बलिम् उमाद्याश्च कर्मजाश्चैव ये भूतादिग्विदिक् स्थिताः प्रसन्ना परितुष्टास्ते प्रतिगृह्णन्ति मम बलिं ओं वेतालाक्षमद्धं भूतापसारणम्.
Bhutapasaranam is being performed to remove the obstacles, any possible obstacles that may occur in the puja.
ये भूता विघ्नकर्तारस्ते नश्यन्तु शिवाज्ञया ओं वेतालाश्च पिशाचाश्च राक्षसाश्च
The worship is performed in front of a ghata which was ceremonially installed
आसन शुद्धि
before the Durga Puja began.
फट स्वाहा इति गंध पुष्पे ओम ह्रीम आधार शक्तादिभ्यो नमः मंत्रेण पूजय ओम अस्य आसन उपवेशन मंत्रस्य मेरु
or ghata represents the deity, and worship is done on the ghata. This is a special part of worship. In almost all the pujas done in an image, a ghata is installed and worshipped after invoking in it the deity. The picture, the ghata represents the deity. When there is no image, the picture alone is the primary symbol of the deity.
ओम शताभिषेको हुं फट स्वाहा ओम शताभिषेको हुं फट स्वाहा ओम शताभिषेको हुं फट स्वाहा.
Ghatasthapana has another significance. The picture is a symbol of the cave of the heart, Hridaya Guha. The heart is the abode of the Atman.
योगिनी कोटि परिवृता यही भद्रकाली ह्रीम ओम दुर्गायै नमः फट 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 छोटिकादशकम भूमि
Atmasya janto nihito guhayam. The Atman is present in the heart of each jiva. The ghata represents the heart. The picture symbolizes our inner self. The water contained in the picture represents bhava, the spiritual feeling. The fruits kept on that represent the buddhi. The Pancha Pallava, the 5 varieties of leaves which are attached to the ghata, represent the 5 karmendriyas, organs of action. The Pancha Ratnas, 5 kinds of jewels offered as part of the ghata, represent the 5 jnanendriyas, organs of knowledge. And the Pancha Shasya, 5 varieties of corn, which are part of the ceremonial ghata, represent the 5 tanmatras. The figure drawn on the picture with vermilion represents the subtle body. When the mantras for the Ghatasthapana are chanted with the knowledge of their image, with the knowledge of their proper significance and corresponding attunement to their import, then the worshipper sees that the ghata before him is nothing but a representation of his own heart, and realizes that it is only from there that all divine power emerges. You can see a heap of flowers covering the ghata just in front of the image of Mother Durga. Now is the time for Bhuta Shuddhi. By this ritual, the worshipper purifies his body and mind, his subtle and gross body.
Jivanyasa. Omang Ring Krong Yang Rang Lang Bang Shang Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga Devataya Prana Iha Prana. Omang Ring Krong Yang Rang Lang Bang Shang Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga Devataya Jiva Yastita. Omang Ring Krong Yang Rang Lang Bang Shang Shang Sang Hung Hang Shri Durga Devataya.
Is the purification of the body, which is composed of the 5 elements, namely earth, water, fire, air and ether. By this purification, the 5 elements get united with the imperishable Brahman. The underlying idea is to see the 5 elements not as inert substances but as Brahman. The Upanishad says, all this is verily Brahman. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Not the way we perceive them with our naked eye, but the way the scriptures declare it to be. The whole world is one truth, one reality. When we perceive with a pure mind and under the guidance of the Shastras and the Guru. Bhuta Shuddhi destroys all evil or sinful tendencies which are associated with the bhutas, which constitute our subtle body primarily, and this ritual produces a new divine body called Sadhana Deha, the body fit for spiritual practice. Various nyasas are being performed by the pujaka. Nyasa is an important and essential part of any puja. The significance of nyasa is to throw away or discard the egoistic feeling of agentship, kartrutva abhimana parityaga, with regard to the body, and to establish in its stead a feeling of divinity or divine presence. The scriptures say Nyasa is the establishing of one's chosen deity, Ishtadevata, in the various limbs of one's own body. Nyaso nama tattad devatanam tattad avayaveshu avasthapanam avasthitatvena bhavaneti yavat, says Saubhagya Bhaskara, a commentary on the Lalita Sahasranama. As this feeling of divine presence pervading the body becomes stronger and stronger
Varna Nyasa.
by the repeated performance of nyasas, the false sense of identification with the body becomes weaker and weaker.
Guru Pujanam Dhyanam. Om Aim Brahmanandam
The
Paramasukadam
nyasas
Kevalam
are
Jnanam
followed by Guru Puja.
Murtindvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nitya
Worship
Brahmachalam
of
Sarvadi
gods
Sakshi Bhutam Bhavati
is preceded by Guru Puja.
Sadguru Namami Ishagandha Om Aim
One's
Sri Gurave
spiritual master
Namaha.
is first worshipped.
Idam Sachandana Pushpam Om Aim Sri
Then we
Gurave
proceed
Namaha.
to worship the deities, the gods and goddesses.
Esha Dhupa Om Aim Sri Gurave Namaha. Esha Deepa Om Aim Sri Gurave Namaha.
Guru Puja involves the offering of five upacharas, Panchopachara Puja, Gandha Pushpa, Dhupa Deepa and Naivedya.
Sri Gurave Nama Phat 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 Om Suprokshitamustum Sri Vishnu Pundarikaksha Punatu.
Offering the sandal paste, offering the flower, offering of incense sticks and light, and ceremonial food, a meal. In the morning puja, food offering would be usually made with fruits and sweets. Prayers are uttered to the Guru. Guru Puja having completed, the Pujaka begins to worship Shri Ganesha. Ganesha is the first deity to be worshipped among the Panchadevatas. The Panchadevata Puja is the preliminary worship. When we undertake any grand worship of any deity in the Smarta tradition, Adi Shankaracharya instituted this rule that anywhere in India, whenever we worship any deity, we must first worship these five deities. Thus, Shankaracharya harmonized different schools of theism within Hinduism. These five deities are the supreme deity of Ganapatya tradition, Sri Ganesha, the supreme god worshipped as part of the Kaumara tradition called Subramanya or Muruka in the south of India. In the north of India, Kumara or Subramanya is replaced by Surya. Surya is the supreme deity worshipped in the Saura tradition. Shiva is to be worshipped, the supreme godhead of Shaiva tradition. Vishnu is to be worshipped, Narayana, the supreme deity of Vaishnavism, and Devi Durga in the form of Kaushiki Devi, the supreme godhead of Shakta tradition.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Dhyayen Nityam Mahesham Rajatagirniham Charuchandravatam Sam Ratna
Accepting the tradition of Shankaracharya,
Hastam Prasannam
worship these five deities at the very outset of the puja rituals and then proceed to worship the primary principal deity for whom the puja is undertaken.
idam sachandana pushpam om
Now
namah
is Shiva
shivaya namaha
Puja
idam
being
sachandana
performed
bilvadalam om namah
on the
shivaya namaha
Baneshwara Shivalinga.
ishadhupa om namah shivaya namaha
5
ishadipa
upacharas
om
are
namah
offered.
shivaya namaha idam sopakarana bhaga naivedyam om namah shivaya namaha dashadha jape shigram kuru shigram
Japa and Dhyana
Isha
form
Sachandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Namah Shivaya
two
Namaha
special parts
Ete
of
Gandapushpe
any
Om
worship.
Hrim Gauriyai Namaha Ete Gandapushpe Ashtamurtibhyo Namaha
Japa is
Om
the
Namah
repetition of
Shivaya
the holy
Shantaya
name
Karanatraya
of God,
Hetaji Nivedayami Chatmanam
and
Tvangati
meditation
Parameshwara Tava Tattva
is known as
Manajanami
Dhyana in
Kedrisho
Sanskrit.
Simaheshwara Yadrisho
Its general
Simahadeva
meaning is
Tadrishaya
reflection
Namo
or
Namaha
contemplation.
Surya Pujanam Om Ram Rim Saraktam
It is said in the
Bridashanamashesha
Kularnava
Gunaika
Tantra,
Sindhum Bhanum Samasta
meditation
Jagatam
is
Adhipanya Bhajami
contemplation on the chosen
Padmadvaya
deity, Ishta
Bhayavaram
Devata,
Gatatankarabrij
within one's
Malikyam
mind
Maulimarunang
after
Ruchim
controlling
Trinetram
the agitations of the
Ishaganda Om
senses.
Ram Rim Sastri Suryaya Nama Idam Sachandana Pushpam Om Ram Rim Sastri Suryaya Nama Ishadhupa Om
Yavadindriya
Ram Rim Sastri
santapam
Suryaya Nama
manasa
Ishadhupa
sanniyamya
Om
cha
Ram Rim Sastri Suryaya Nama
swantena devasya chintanam
idam sopakarana
dhyanamukhyate.
bhaganai vidyam om ram rim sasri suryaya namaha
Yavadindriya santapam manasa sanniyamya cha
ishasha chandana patra
swantena
pushpanjali om
devasya
ram rim
chintanam
sasri
dhyanamukhyate.
suryaya namaha om
Meditation
java
is of
kusuma
two types,
sankasham
gross
kashati
and
yang
subtle.
mahadvutim dhvantarim sarva
Gross
papagnan
meditation is on
pranatosi
God with form,
divakaram
while subtle
narayana
meditation is on the formless aspect of God. ध्यानं तु द्विविधं प्रोक्तं स्थूल सूक्ष्म प्रभेदतः साकारं स्थूलमित्याहुः निराकारं तु सूक्ष्मकम्. The sthula dhyana leads to sukshma chintana of the nirakara form of God. The worship of sakara is the path to the grand realization of the nirakara aspect of God. In external worship, one is expected to meditate only on the gross form of the deity. That is the purpose of the external worship. When such meditation gradually deepens, it reveals to the worshipper the subtle form, the subtle aspect, and the divine principle behind the deity he is worshipping.
pratasnanam
Narayana Puja is being performed
om
in the
sahasra
Salagrama.
om sahasra shirsha purusha sahasraksa sahasrapat
First
sabhumin
Snaniyam is
sarvatasvatva
offered.
atyattishtadashangulam om agnimile purohitam yagyasya deva mritvijam hotaram ratnadhatamam om ishetorjetva vayavastadeva vastavita prarpayatu shreshtatamaya karmani om agnayahi vitai grinano habyodatai nihota
The first mantras of all the four Vedas are being uttered while the Pujaka is performing the Snana of Narayana. The Snana ceremony of Sriman Narayana will be followed by Panchopachara Puja. Narayana is one of the Panchadevatas, and Panchadevata Puja is one of the preliminary pujas done as part of any grand worship of any deity. Upachara means offering, an item offered in humble submission to the deity. Devoted offering of various items to the deity follows meditation and mental worship. A number of items offered may vary according to the means. It could be a 5-fold or a 10-fold or a 16-fold offering,
উপরে যাও, উপরে, হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
depending on the nature of worship and the results thereof. 7-fold, 12-fold, or 18-fold offering is also enjoined.
Om Narayana Namo
The
Narayana.
attitude behind offering in the worship of the deity is similar to our attitude when we offer things to a beloved, respected guest, worthy of great reverence, who visits our home.
Idam sachandana pushpam om narayanaaya namaha. Idam sachandana tulasi patram om namaste bahurupaya vishnave paramatmane swaha narayanaaya namaha. Esha dhupa om narayanaaya namaha. Esha deepa om narayanaaya namaha.
After the initial purification and related rituals, various pujas have begun. Narayana Puja is underway. Each upachara before offering is worshipped and divinized. In fact, even the flowers used for the worship should first be worshipped. Worshipping them with the mantra, salutations to the all-pervading Supreme Spirit. The worshipper should imagine that the flowers are of the nature of Vishnu, who is their Lord. The mind of the worshipper thus will be filled with the idea of divine presence in everything. Thus, having divinized and purified each item, the Archaka proceeds to offer it as an upachara to the chosen deity in front of him. Now Kaishiki Durga or Kaushiki Devi is being worshipped as part of the Panchadevata Puja. A prayer is uttered at the end of the Panchopachara Puja of Kaushiki Durga. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahi Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Durga Puja is an all-India festival celebrated in honor of the Divine Mother in the autumn season. The Mother is known by various names in various parts of India, and these names are mentioned in various lists such as Lalita Sahasranama, Durga Saptashati, Devi Bhagavatam, etc. These various names related to different goddesses really do not represent different deities, different independent deities, but only various aspects and attributes of one and the same deity, the Supreme Mother of the universe, according to the Tantra Shastra. When the supreme spiritual reality appears as creator, preserver and destroyer, we call it Shakti. When it is inactive, we call it Brahman. But really it is one and the same thing, indivisible. Indivisible, says Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The Devi Upanishad says, Kasitvam Mahadevi? A question was put to Devi, and she replied, Sabravit, Aham Brahmaswarupini. mattah prakriti purushatmakam jagat esha atma shaktihi esha shrihi mahavidya etc.
शृङ्गारादिरसोल्लासं वानाख्यं परमेश्वरम् एवं ध्यात्वा
She
वानलीनं
says,
ध्यायेत्तं परमं
Aham
शिवम्
Brahmaswarupini Mattaha Prakriti Purushatmakam Jagat. I am the form of Brahman. The whole universe, including
ईशगन्ध
Purusha
ॐ
and
ऐं
Prakriti, has
बाणेश्वर
come from
शिवाय
me.
नमः इदं सचन्दनपुष्पम् ॐ ऐं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः इदं सचन्दनबिल्वदलम् ॐ ऐं बाणेश्वर शिवाय
Devi
नमः
hi
ईश गन्धः
Eka
ॐ ऐं
Agre
बाणेश्वर
Asit.
शिवाय नमः ईश दीप ॐ ऐं बाणेश्वर शिवाय नमः तस्मै
Says
सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय
Bhravrajaupanishad,
नमः ओमैते गन्धपुष्पे तस्मै सोपकरणनैवेद्याय नमः
just as the
ओमैते
Chandogya
गन्धपुष्पे
Upanishad
तदधिपतये
declares,
देवाय श्रीविष्णवे
Sadevagra
गन्धपुष्पे
Asit
तत्सम्प्रदानाय
Ekameva
वाणेश्वर
Dvitiyam.
शिवाय नमः फट् 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 ॐ श्री
Sat in
प्रोक्षितमस्तु ॐ
Chandogya
श्री
Upanishad means
विष्णुपुण्डरीकाक्ष पुनातु
Parabrahman, Paramatman. And the same spiritual truth is declared
ओमैमिदं
as the Parashakti Swarupini Bhagavati.
पत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि बाणेश्वराय नमः ॐ बाणेश्वराय
Then the Upanishad
नरकारणाय
says, Devi hi
ज्ञानप्रदाय
ekagre asit
करुणामयसागराय
saiva jagadandamasrajat.
कर्पूरकुण्डलमणिनिजटाधाराय दारिद्र्यदुःखदः
Only Devi
नमः
existed in the
शिवाय
beginning before
इति
creation.
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ ह्रीं
It
गौर्यै
is
नमः
only she who created the
इति
world.
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ अग्नये नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ आदित्यादि नवग्रहेभ्यो नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ इन्द्रादिदशदिक्पालेभ्यो नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ काल्यादिदशमहाविद्याभ्यो नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ मत्स्यादिदशावतारेभ्यो नमः
When God
इति
is
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
conceived
सर्वेभ्यो
of
देवेभ्यो
as
नमः
a
इति
glorified
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
human being,
सर्वाभ्यो देवीभ्यो
it is
नमः
quite
इति
possible to
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ अक्षरादिपञ्चाशद्वर्णेभ्यो
conceive him
नमः
of
इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
as being
प्रथमदादिति
either
देव्यो
male
नमः
or
इति
female.
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
The idea of
कृष्णपक्षाय नमः
creation
इति
of the world
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
suggested
शुक्लपक्षाय
the
नमः
idea of
इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
procreation
अमावास्यायै नमः
also.
इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ पूर्णिमायै नमः
The
इति
creator
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ कुलदेवतायै नमः इति
can be a
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
mother.
यां गङ्गायै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ यां
The
यमुनायै नमः
creator God
इति गन्धपुष्पे
of the
क्रीं
whole
श्रीमद्दक्षिणकालिकायै
universe
नमः
can be
इति
conceptualized
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ
as the Supreme
स्थानीयदेवताभ्यो
Mother.
नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ ऐं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय श्रीरामकृष्णाय नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ ऐं ह्रीं सर्वदेवदेवी
In
स्वरूपिण्यै श्री
Sanskrit, the
शारदादिव्यै
word
नमः
Shakti
इति
itself,
गन्धपुष्पे ॐ विवेकानन्दादि श्रीरामकृष्ण
as well
पार्षदेभ्यो
as well
नमः
as the other words like
धन्यवाद
Prakriti, Maya,
ॐ
Vidya,
आधारशक्तये
etc.,
ॐ
are in the
पृथिव्यै नमः
feminine
कूर्माय
gender.
नमः अनन्ताय नमः पृथिव्यै नमः क्षीरसमुद्राय नमः मणिमण्डपाय नमः श्वेतोद्दीपाय नमः
Therefore,
पारिजाताय नमः
easily
कल्पवृक्षाय
they
नमः
lend
देवविद्रायै
themselves to
नमः
be conceived of
रत्नसिंहासनाय नमः
as
मणिकण्ठाय
belonging
नमः
to
मणिभ्यो नमः
a
देवेभ्यो नमः
woman,
ॐ धर्माय नमः ज्ञानाय
as
नमः
referring
वैराग्याय
to
नमः
a
ऐश्वर्याय
female.
नमः धर्माय नमः ज्ञानाय नमः वैराग्याय नमः अनैश्वर्याय नमः ॐ अमानन्ताय नमः पद्माय नमः आनन्दकन्दाय नमः
As the
संविघ्नादाय
absolute
नमः
truth
प्रकृतिमय पत्रेभ्यो नमः विकारमय
of the
केशवेभ्यो नमः
Vedanta
ॐ
philosophy
तत्त्वमय
is
कर्णिकायै
conceived
नमः
of
अर्कमण्डलाय द्वादशकलात्मने
as
नमः
Shiva,
ॐ
Vishnu,
सोममण्डलाय
and other
षोडशकलात्मने नमः ॐ
godheads
बह्निमण्डलाय
in different
दशकलात्मने नमः ॐ
traditions
संसत्वाय नमः ॐ
to
रमरक्षसे
make
नमः ॐ
upasana
तमतमसे नमः ॐ आमात्मने नमः
plausible.
ॐ अमन्तरात्मने नमः ॐ परमात्मने नमः ॐ
The same truth
ज्ञानात्मने
is
नमः
conceived
ॐ
of
वां प्रभायै
as
नमः ॐ
Devi,
श्रीमायाय नमः
the
ॐ
Supreme
ओङ्काराय
Mother
नमः
of
ॐ
this
सूक्ष्माय
universe
नमः ॐ ऐं विशुद्धाय नमः ॐ
in
ॐ
the
देव्यै
Shakta
नमः ॐ
tradition.
ॐ सुप्रभाय नमः ॐ ॐ विजयाय नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धिदायै नमः ॐ वज्रनखदंष्ट्रायुधाय महासिंहासनाय हुं फट् नमः ॐ दक्षयज्ञविनाशिन्यै महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः इत्यस्य
Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa narrates a story
छन्दो दुर्गा देवता ह्रीं
in the
बीजं श्रीं
Kathamrita.
शक्ति क्लीं कीलकं चतुर्वर्गसिद्धये विनियोगः ॐ नारदऋषरमं गायत्री
Sri Ramakrishna
दुर्गा
asked,
देवतायै नमः ॐ
is
ह्रीं
Shyama
विद्याय नमः
male
ॐ
or
षष्ठये नमः
female?
ॐ क्लीं
Is
कीलकाय नमः
Devi
रामं
Durga
दक्षगणि
male or female? And he proceeds to narrate a story. A man once saw the image of the Divine Mother, Durga, wearing a sacred thread. He said to the worshipper, "What? You have put the sacred thread on the mother's neck?" The worshipper said, "I see that you have truly known the mother, but I have not yet been able to find out whether she is male or female. That is why I have put the sacred thread on the
Om
image.
Rhim Jata Juta Samayuktam Ardhendu Shekharam Lochanatraya Sangyuktam Purnendu
The story
Sadrishananam
says,
Atasi
the story
Pushpavaranabham
signifies the message that
Supratishtham
Shyama is also
Sudochanam
Brahman.
Navayauvana
Now
Sampannam
Devi's dhyana is being
Sarvabharana
performed.
Bhushitam Sucharudasanam Tadavat Tinonnatapayodharam Tribhangasthana Mahishasuramardinim Mrinalayata Sangsparsha Dashavahu Samanvitam Trishulam Dakshinidhyayam Kharagam Chakram Kramadadaha Tikshnavanam Tatha Shakting Dakshine Suvichintayit Ketakang Purna Chapancha Pashamankushamivacha Ghantam va parashum vapi vamata sanniveshait adhasthana mahisham tadvad vishiraskam pradarshait shiraschedodbhavam tadvaddana bankaragapaninam hridishulena nirvinnan niryadantra vibhushitam rakatarakti kritangancha rakata vispuritekshanam Vishtitannagapashena bhrukuti bhishananam sapashvamahastena dhrutakeshancha durgaya vamatrudhiravakrancha divya singham pradarshait divyastu dakshinam padam samam singho paristitam kinchidurdham tatha vamam angushtham mahishopari prasannavadanang deving sarvakama phalapradam Shatrukshayakaring devim daityadanabadarapaham Stuyamanancha tadrupamamarai sanniveshait Ugrachanda prachanda cha chandogra chandanaika Chanda chandavati chaiva chandarupati chandika Avishaktivirashtavisatatam pariveshtitam Chintai jagatang dhatring dharmakamarthamokshadam Omrit Masanam
Devi's dhyana is followed by Manasa Puja,
Padiyam Charanayor Dadyat
offering worship mentally
Nivedait
to Devi Durga.
Tinamritena Chamaniyam Snaniyam Tena Chasmritam Akasha Tatvam Vastram Syad Gandha Tatvakam Chittam Prakalpait Pushpam Dhupam Pranan Prakalpait Tijas Tatvancha Deepartham Naivedyam Syat Sudham Buddhi Anahatadvaniri Ghanta Vayu Tatvancha Chamaram Sahasraram Bhavi Chatram Shabda Tatvancha Geetakam Nrityam Indriya Karmani Chanchalyam Manasastatha Sumekhalam Padmamalam Pushpannana Vidham Tatha Amayadhyai Bhava Pushpairarchaid Bhava Gocharam Amayam Manahankaram Maragam Mamadang Tatha Amohakamadam Bhancha Adveshakshobhakau Tatha Amatsaryamalobhancha Dashapushpam Vidurubudha Ahimsa Paramam Pushpam Pushpamindriya Nigraha Daya Pushpam Shama Pushpam Jnana Pushpam Cha Panchamam Iti Panchadashair Bhava Pushpai Sampujait Shivam Danargham Sthapai
Manasa Puja is performed.
Iti Gandha Pushpe
For
Om
Devi
Hrim
Durga,
Adhara Shaktai Namaha Tripadikam
Mother was
Prashalya
worshipped
Tadpari
mentally.
Sthapai.
And now Danarghya Sthapana will take place.
Omiti Gandha Pushpe Mang Banhimandala
Danarghya is also known as Vishesharghya.
Arghapatram.
This is a special offering in the Shankha Patra, which will be offered as a gift to the deity during the Shodashopachara.
Argha Rachana.
The fundamentals of the Maha Navami Puja are very similar to those on the previous days. Preliminary prayers and purificatory rituals consecrating the puja materials and offerings are now in progress. Danarghya Sthapanam is being performed. as a preparation for the Shodashopachara Puja. After the Danarghya Sthapana, some more rites will take place. Once again Devi's Dhyanam will be performed, and then the Shodashopachara will begin. Before worshipping the main deity Devi Durga, many other gods and goddesses are also worshipped. These deities are always worshipped at the beginning of every occasion of a puja ceremony. Having propitiated these devatas, the Archaka proceeds to worship the main deity of the puja.
फट 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 ऊर्ध्व तालत्रयम धेनु योनि परमिकरणम मुद्राम प्रदर्शय.
These preliminary pujas are meant for deities like Dwara Devatas, Brahma, Vastu Purusha, Surya, and then Guru is worshipped. Guru Puja is followed by the Pancha Devata Puja. Pancha Devatas are the 5 deities who represent the 5 main theistic schools of Hinduism. Ganapati is the supreme deity worshipped by the adherents of Ganapatyam. Kartikeya, the Ishta Devata of the theological tradition of Kaumaram. Or alternatively, Surya, the sun god, the supreme deity of the Saura tradition. Shiva, the god of Shaivism, Shaiva tradition. Vishnu, the supreme deity of Vaishnava. And Sri Jaya Durga or Kaushiki Durga, the Paradevata of the theistic tradition of Shakta Parampara. These 5 deities, along with Surya Devata, are worshipped by the Smarta Sampradaya at the commencement of any major puja ritual. Having done these preliminary pujas, now the primary rites which lead to the Shodashopachara offering for Devi Durga have begun. Now Pitha Puja and Pitha Shakti Puja are being performed. This is the consecration of the ceremonial seat of Devi Durga. Durga Puja with image of Devi Durga as Mahishasuri Mardini was performed for the first time in Belur Math under the directions of Swami Vivekananda in 1901. That year, Navami Tithi fell on the 21st of October. Today, on this Holy Navami Tithi, Devi Durga's Shodashopachara Puja is underway.
Sucharu dashanam tadavatapino natapayodharam tribhangasthana sangsthanam mahishasudamardhinim mrinalayata sangsparsha dashavahu samanvitam trishulam dakshine dhyeyam kharagam chakrang kramadadaha तीक्ष्णबाणं तथा शक्तिं दक्षिणेषु विचिन्तयेत् कीटकं पूर्णचापं च पाशमङ्कुशमेव च घण्टां वा परशुं वापि वामतः सन्निवेशयेत् अधस्तान् महिषं तद्वद् विशिरस्कं प्रदर्शयेत् शिरश्छेदोद्भवं तद्वद्दानवं खड्गपाणिनं हृदि शूलेन निर्भिन्नं निर्यदन्त्रविभूषितं रक्तारक्तकृताङ्गं च रक्तविस्फुरिते क्षणं वेष्टितन्नागपाशेन भ्रूकुटीभीषणाननं सपाशवामहस्तेन धृतकेशं च दुर्गया वमतरुधिरवक्त्रं च दिव्या सिंहं प्रदर्शयेत् दिव्यास्तु दक्षिणं पादं समं सिंहो परिस्थितं किञ्चिदूर्ध्वं तथा वाममङ्गुष्ठं महिषोपरि प्रसन्नवदनां देवीं सर्वकामफलप्रदां शत्रुक्षयकरीं देवीं दैत्यदानवदर्पहां स्तूयमानं च तत्रूपममरैः सन्निवेशयेत् उग्रचण्डा प्रचण्डा च चण्डोग्रा चण्डनायिका चण्डा चण्डवती चैव चण्डरूपातिचण्डिका आभिशक्तिभिरष्टाभिः सततं परिवेष्टितं चिन्तयेज्जगतां धात्रीं धर्मकामार्थमोक्षदाम्.
Having completed Devi Dhyanam, the Pujaka now proceeds to the Shodashopachara Puja of Devi Durga. Various offerings, usually referred to as the Upacharas, are made to the Devi, beginning with Rajatasana. Sacred ritual manuals, the Puja Paddhatis, prescribe various procedures for performing them.
संसारार्णवतारिणी मया निवेदितं भक्त्या आसनं सफलं कुरु इदं रजतासनमं दक्षयज्ञविनाशिनी महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं दुर्गायै नमः.
Mother Durga and her companions are worshipped with the maximum number of upacharas possible.
तस्यैते परमेशानि स्वागतं स्वागतं च मे ओम भूर्भुवस्सुः ओम
Devi is now being invited
योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं
दुर्गायै नमः श्री
भगवद्दुर्गे देवी स्वागतं सुस्वागतं
take the seat offered to her and accept the puja graciously. Padyam is offered to Mother Durga. Padyam is the water to wash feet. In the Durga Puja, the god is worshipped as the mother of the universe. The Sanatana Hindu Dharma teaches that the Supreme Brahman, the Creator, the Protector, the Savior of the universe, can also be the Supreme Mother. Parabrahman is the Para Prakriti of the Prapancha. Upanishads describe the Brahman as the only source and support and goal of the whole universe. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti tad vijijñāsasva tad brahmeti, says the Taittiriya Upanishad. Vyasacharya has also composed an aphorism, a sutra, in the Shariraka Mimamsa Shastra, Prakritischa Pratigna Drishtanta The Brahman, the Paramatman, is the Prakriti of the universe. So in Vedanta, Prakriti, the word is in feminine gender, Prakriti means the Upadana Karana, the supreme cause of this world, of the whole world. And this Prakriti is none other than Brahma. The Brahman, the Paramatman, is the Prakriti of the Prapancha. The one who gives birth and nourishes the children and protects them is better known as the mother in the world. Mother is the most appropriate description of the Paramatman, who creates, who nourishes, and who protects all this in the universe. Durga Puja is the worship of this mother.
Omuchishtamapyashuchirivayasya smaranamatrata shuddhimapnati tasyaiti punadachmaniyakam idam punadachmaniyudakam.
Various upacharas are consecrated and worshipped, and then they are offered to mother one by one by uttering the mantras and offering prayers. Maha Navami is commemorated as the victory of the supreme knowledge over ignorance and bondage. The Divine Mother, the embodiment of Paravidya, subdued the Asura who embodied the lust and other evils arising out of ignorance. On the Navami Tithi, the battle between Devi Durga and the demon Mahishasura reached its acme, culminating in Devi's victory. Mother is the Mahishasura Mardini on the Navami Tithi. Her victory over the Mahishasura will be celebrated tomorrow, the Vijayadashami.
Magnimile purohitam yagyasya devam ritwijam hotaram ratnadhatamam umishetoryetvavaya vastadeva
Snaniyodakam is offered for Devi Durga as part of the Shodashopachara Puja.
hota satsibarhishi shanno devi rabhishtaye shanno bhavantu pitaye shangyo ravisravantu.
The first mantras of all the four Vedas are chanted as part of this ceremony. This is followed by the offering of clothes.
Bhangatebhyo sopavita vastrebhyo nama bhangatebhyo sopavita vastrebhyo nama bhangatebhyo sopavita vastrebhyo nama mitigandhapushpetebhyo sopavita vastrebhyo nama.
Durga is the most widely worshipped form of the Shakti. An entire Purana, the Devi Bhagavatam, is dedicated to her. The word Durga literally means the one who is difficult to approach or difficult to know. She is the personification of the totality of the powers of all the gods. Her true nature is a divine secret, Daiva Rahasyam.
Bhangatasmai swarnabharanaya nama bhangatasmai swarnabharanaya nama omiti gandhapushpetasmai swarnabharanaya.
However, being the mother of the universe, she is the personification of tender love when we surrender ourselves to her.
Samayukta bannibhanu samaprabhagatrani shobhaishyanti alankara sureshwari idam swarnabharanam om daksha jaggavinashinyai mahaghorayai yogini koti parivritayai bhadrakalai hrim om durga.
We come across three main manifestations of the Supreme Goddess in the Shastras: Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. These three aspects are not exactly same as the Puranic deities by these names. Gauri, Parvati, Lakshmi and Saraswati are extolled in the Puranas based on different systems of faith. and worship
Bhangatasmai
acceptable
Sinduraya
to
Namah Bhangatasmai
various
Sinduraya Namah
Puranic traditions.
Omite Gandapushpe Tasmai
In
Sinduraya Namah Omite
Durga
Gandapushpe
Saptashati,
Tadadipataye
on the other
Devaya Sri
hand,
Vishnabe Namah
and
Omite
similar other
Gandapushpe
sacred books
Tasampradhanaya Sri
of
Bhagavad
the Shakta
Durgaye Namah
tradition,
Om Shirar Bhushana
these three
Sinduram
deities,
Bharturayu Vivardhanam
Mahakali,
Sarvaratnadikam
Mahalakshmi,
Divyam Sinduram
and
Pratideyyatam
Mahasaraswati,
Idam Sinduram Om
are
Dakshajagga Vinashinyai
three
Mahaghoraye
manifestations
Yogini
of
Koti
the one
Parivritaye
supreme
Bhadrakali
power,
Bhimom
Maheshwari.
Durgaye Namaha Netranjanam
According to the
Bhangatasmai
prevalence of
Netranjanaya
one of
Namaha
the three
Bhangatasmai
gunas of
Netranjanaya
the
Namaha
Supreme
Bhangatasmai
Shakti,
Netranjanaya Namaha
Mahamaya,
Om Ite
she
Gandapushpe Tasmai
manifests in the
Netranjanaya Namaha
universe
Ite
as
Gandapushpe
Mahakali,
Tadadipataye Devaya Sri
Mahalakshmi,
Vishnabe Namah Ite
or
Gandapushpe
Mahasaraswati.
Tasampradhanaya Sri Bhagavad Durgaye Namah Omanyanam Paramam Ramyam
Mahakali
Netrayurmubhut
is the
Mahadgrihana
manifestation of Devi
Varadevidi
Durga
Prasida
through her
Idam
tamasic
Netranjanam
aspect.
Dakshajaggavinashinyai Mahaghoraye Yogini
The
Koti
Dhyana
Parivritaye
mantra, which is to be
Bhadrakali Imam
recited
Durgaye
before we
Namaha
read the
Alaktan
Prathama
Bhangatasmai
Charita of the
Alaktayana
Durga
Bhangatasmai
Saptashati,
Alaktayana Bhangatasmai Alaktayana Momite
describes
Gandapushpe Tasmai
Mahakali.
Alaktayana Momite Gandapushpe Tadadipataye Devaya Sri
Khadgam
Vishnabe Namah Momite
Chakra
Gandapushpe
Gadeshu Chapa
Tasampradhanaya Sri Bhagavad
Paridhan
Durgaye Namah
Shulam Bhushunding
Omupadayo
Shiraha
Shohanam Divyamalakhtam Sumanoharam
Shankham
Maya Niveditam
Sandadhatim
Bhaktya Sthanam Dehi
Karaistrinayanam
Padambuje
Sarvanga
Idamalakhtamam
Bhusha Vritam
Dakshajagga Vinashinyai Mahaghoraye Yogini Koti Parivritaye
Yam
Bhadrakali Imam
Hantum
Durgaye Namah
Madhukaitabham Yam Hantum
Upabhushana Bhangatebhyo
Madhukaitabhau
Upabhushanebhyo Nama Bhangatebhyo
Jalajabhu
Upabhushanebhyo Nama Bhangatebhyo
Tushtava
Upabhushanebhyo Nama
Supte Harau
Iti Gandapushpe Tebhyo Upabhushanebhyo Amite Gandapushpe
Neelashmadyuti
Tadadipataye
Masya
Devaya Sri
Pada
Vishnabe Nama Iti
Dashakam
Gandapushpe Tasampradhanaya Sri
Seve
Bhagavad Durgaye
Mahakalika.
Nama Om Imani
Mahakali
Upabhushanani Om
has
Dakshajagga
10
Vinashinyai
faces and
Mahaghoraye
10
Yogini
feet.
Koti Parivritaye Bhadrakaleri Imam Durgaye Namaha
She is the Bhadrakali. She is deep blue in color like the gem Neelamani. She is bedecked with ornaments and wheels. In
Gandha
her 10 hands, these
Bhangatasmai
weapons
Gandhaya Nama Bhangatasmai
and
Gandhaya Nama
objects,
Bhangatasmai Gandhaya Nama Omite
swords,
Gandapushpe Tasmai
discus,
Gandhaya Nama
mace,
Omite
arrow,
Gandapushpe Tadadipataye
bow,
Devaya Sri Vishnabe Nama Omite Gandapushpe
iron club,
Tasampradhanaya Sri Bhagavad Durgaye Nama Om
lance,
Sharirante Na
sling,
Janami Cheshtanyani
human head,
Vachanai
and
Vachamaya
conch.
Niveditan Gandhan Pratigriya Vilipyatam
Being the
Jaggavinashinyai
personification
Mahaghoraye
of tamasic
Yogini Koti
aspect of the
Parivritaye
Devi,
Bhadrakaleri Imam
Devi
Durgaye Namaha
Bhadrakali or
Pushpa
Mahakalika is also the Yoga Nidra who has put Bhagavan Vishnu to sleep. It is to her that Brahma prayed,
Bhangate Sachandana
requesting
Pushpebhya
her
Nama
to
Bhangate
leave
Sachandana Pushpebhya Nama Omite
Lord
Gandapushpetebhya
Vishnu so
Sachandana
that
Pushpebhya Nama Omite
he
Gandapushpe
could destroy
Tadadipataye
the
Devaya
demons
Sri Vishnabe
Madhu
Nama
and
Omite Gandapushpe
Kaitabha.
Tasampradhanaya Sri Bhagavad Durgaye Nama Ang Pushpanga Manoharam Divyam Sujam
Mahakalika
Dhire
is the personification
Devanirvitam
of
Vrityam
Maya, the
Abhugatamagreyam
mysterious
Devidaktam
power of
Pragriyatam
Lord Vishnu.
Imani Sachandana Pushpani Om
Unless
Dakshajagga
she is
Vinashinyai
pleased and
Mahaghoraye
voluntarily
Yogini Koti
withdraws, the
Parivritaye
Lord in us
Bhadrakaleri
will
Om
not wake up and
Durgaye
destroy
Namaha
the evil tendencies trying to overpower us.
Billapatra
In the Puja Mandapa,
Bhangatebhya Sachandana Bilvadalebhyo Nama Bhangatebhya
Devi's
Sachandana
grand
Bilvadalebhyo Nama Omite
puja is
Gandapushpetebhyo
being
Sachandana
performed
Bilvadalebhyo Nama
with
Omite
16
Gandapushpe
upacharas.
Tadadipataye Devaya Sri Vishnabe Nama Omite Gandapushpe Tasampradhanaya Sri Bhagavad Durgaye Namaha Om Amritodbhavamaluras Shankarasya Sada Priya Villapatram Prayachami Pavitrante Sureshwari Imani Sachandana Bilvadalani Om Dakshajagga Vinashinyai Mahaghoraye Yogini Koti
Devi Durga
Parivritaye
manifests in the
Bhadrakaleri Om
universe
Durgaye Namaha
according to Sri Sri Chandi as
Pushpamalya
Mahakali,
Bhangatasmai
as
Sachandana
Mahalakshmi,
Pushpamalyaya Nama
and as
Bhangatasmai Sachandana
Mahasaraswati.
Pushpamalyaya Nama Omite Gandapushpe Tasmai Sachandana Pushpamalyaya Nama Omite Gandapushpe
Mahalakshmi
Tadadipataye
is a
Devaya Sri Vishnabe Nama
manifestation through the
Omite Gandapushpe
Rajasic aspect of
Tasampradhanaya Sri
Devi
Bhagavad
Durga.
Durgaye Namaha Om Sutrena Grathitam Malyam Nana Pushpa Samanvitam Gandha Chandana
The
Sanyuktam
Dhyana mantra,
Grihana
which is to
Parameshwari
be
Idam
recited before
Sachandana
we read the
Pushpamalyam
Madhyama
Om
Charita
Dakshajagga
of the Durga
Vinashinyai
Saptashati,
Mahaghoraye Yogini Koti
describes
Parivritaye
Mahalakshmi.
Bhadrakaleri Om Durgaye Namaha
It says, Akshasrak Parashum Gadeshu Kulisham Padmam Dhanuh Kundikam Dandam Shaktim Asincha Charma Jalajam Ghantam Surabhajanam शूलं पाशसुदर्शने च दधतीं हस्तैः प्रबालप्रभां सेवे सैरिभमर्दिनीम् इह महालक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थिताम्. Mahalakshmi is the Rajasic aspect of the Devi. Naivedya is being offered as part of the Shodashopachara Puja. Fruits and sweets and savories are offered to Devi Durga. Today is the holy Navami Tithi of the Durga Puja at Belur Math. Devi is worshipped here in the form of Mahishasura Dalani, Mahishasura Mardini. On her left side, there is Maha Saraswati, and on her right side, we can see Mahalakshmi, another aspect of the Universal Mother. Mahalakshmi is the Rajasic aspect of the Devi. She is red in color like the coral. She holds in her 18 hands the rosary, battle axe, mace, arrow, thunderbolt, lotus, bow, water pot, cudgel, lance, sword, shield, conch, bell, wine cup, trident, noose, and the discus called Sudarshana. Devi Mahalakshmi was born out of the combined wrath and power of all the gods. She is determined to fight and defeat the evil forces in Durga Saptashati. That is why she is shown as red in color, the color of valor, the color of war. It is she who destroyed Mahishasura, according to Sri Sri Chandi. The story of Mahishasura has several implications. Mahishasura has the form of a he-buffalo. He represents the jungle law that might is right. He is the ruthless and brutal force that does not brook any opposition where selfish ends are concerned. And he succeeded even against gods, but only when they were divided. But he fell before their combined powers and the will to fight. The divine power, well combined and organized, with an awakened will to resist the evil, is what the Devi Mahishasura Mardini represents. The lesson of this episode in the Durga Saptashati is given to us in a very obvious fashion, and it needs no explanation. At a subjective level, Mahishasura stands for ignorance and stubborn egoism. Its subjugation and conquest are possible only when a spiritual aspirant pulls all his energies together and fights it with a tenacious will. God helps him who
जलंच
helps
शीतलं
himself.
स्वच्छं नित्यं शुद्धं
The
मनोहरं
intervention
पानार्थन्ते
of the
प्रयच्छामि
divine power
गृहाण हरवल्लभे इदं पानार्थदकमं
in his favor
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
is bound to
महाघोरायै
happen.
योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः इदं नारिकेलदकमं दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
In
महाघोरायै
the puja mandap,
योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै
food
भद्रकाल्यै
offering
ह्रीं
is
ॐ
made to Devi
दुर्गायै नमः
Durga as part of the
उच्छिष्टमप्यशतीवायस्य
Shodashopachara puja.
स्मरणमात्रतः शुद्धिमाप्नोति तस्यै ते पुनराचमनीयकम् इदं पुनराचमनीयदकमं दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः
Maha
ॐ
Saraswati
फलपत्र
is another
समायुक्तं
aspect of Devi
कर्पूरेण
Durga.
सुभाषितं मया निवेदितं भक्त्या ताम्बूलं प्रतिगृह्यताम् इदं ताम्बूलं
Maha Saraswati is
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
depicted
महाघोरायै योगिनी कोटिपरिवृतायै
in the
भद्रकाल्यै
image
ह्रीं
which
ॐ
is worshipped as
दुर्गायै
part of
नमः
Durga Puja on the left side of Devi Durga. Maha Saraswati is the sattvic aspect of Devi Durga.
गोत्रित्वं गृहाणास्मत्कृतं
Sattva
जपं
gunanvita.
सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देवी तत्प्रसादं महेश्वरी ॐ जयन्ती मङ्गला काली भद्रकाली
The
कपालिनी
dhyana
दुर्गा
mantra
शिवा क्षमा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा
which is to be
नमोऽस्तुते
recited before we read the Uttara Charita
ईशचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि ॐ
of Durga
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
Saptashati
महाघोरायै
describes
योगिनी
Maha
कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः ॐ जयन्ती
Ghanta, Shula,
मङ्गला
Halani,
भद्रकाली
Shankha
कपालिनी
Musale,
दुर्गा शिवा क्षमा धात्री
Chakram
स्वाहा स्वधा
Dhanusayakam,
नमोऽस्तुते ईशचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि ॐ
Hastabjair Dadhatim,
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
Ghananta
महाघोरायै
Vilasachitam
योगिनी
Shutulya Prabha,
कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः
Gauri Deha
ॐ जयन्ती
Samudbhavam
मङ्गला काली
Trijagatam
भद्रकाली
Adhara
कपालिनी
Bhutam
दुर्गा शिवा
Mahapurva
क्षमा
Matra
धात्री
Saraswati
स्वाहा स्वधा
Manubhaje
नमोऽस्तुते
Shumbhadi Daityardini.
ईशचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि ॐ दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै महाघोरायै योगिनी
Maha
कोटिपरिवृतायै
Saraswati
भद्रकाल्यै
is
ह्रीं ॐ
bright like the
दुर्गायै नमः
autumn moon
ॐ जयन्ती मङ्गला
and has
काली
8
भद्रकाली
hands
कपालिनी
in which
दुर्गा शिवा
she
क्षमा
holds
धात्री
the
स्वाहा
bell,
स्वधा
the
नमोऽस्तुते
trident, plowshare,
ईशचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि ॐ
conch,
दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
pestle,
महाघोरायै योगिनी
discus, bow and
कोटिपरिवृतायै
arrow.
भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः ॐ जयन्ती मङ्गला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा
It is
शिवा
she
क्षमा धात्री
who
स्वाहा
manifests
स्वधा
out of the
नमोऽस्तुते
divine body of Devi Gauri
ईशचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि
Parvati
ॐ दक्षजगविनाशिन्यै
and hence known as
महाघोरायै योगिनी
Kaushiki Durga.
कोटिपरिवृतायै भद्रकाल्यै ह्रीं ॐ दुर्गायै नमः
Maha Saraswati is the very personification of
ॐ
physical perfection and beauty.
सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी
She is the power of
नारायणि
work,
नमोऽस्तुते
order
सृष्टे
and
स्थितिविनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते शरणागतदीनार्थपरित्राणपरायणे
After the food
सर्वस्यार्ति
offerings,
हरे देवी
prayers are
नारायणि
uttered
नमोऽस्तुते
from
प्रणतानां
Durga
प्रसीद
Saptashati.
त्वं देवी विश्वार्तिहारिणी त्रैलोक्यवासिनामीड्ये
In
लोकानां
humble
वरदा भव
submission at the feet
प्रसीद
of Devi
भगवत्यम्ब
Durga.
प्रसीद भक्तवत्सले प्रसादं कुरु मे देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तु ते
In the Durga Saptashati, the section dealing with Maha Saraswati's exploits is the longest. Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Rakta Bija, Nishumbha and Shumbha are the chief demons destroyed by the Devi in her aspect as Maha Saraswati. Having completed the Shodashopachara Puja, now is the time for Aratrikam. First is Karpura Arati. Arati is consecrated with various mudras. Arati is performed to the accompaniment of a loud, resounding sound of harp. हंसयुक्त विमानस्थे ब्रह्माणी रूपधारिणी कौशाम्भक्षरिके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। त्रिशूलचन्द्राहिधरे महावृषभधारिणी त्रिशूलचन्द्राहिधरे महावृषभवाहिनी माहेश्वरी स्वरूपेण नारायणी नमोस्तुते। मयूरकुक्कुटवृते महाशक्तिधरे नघे कौमारी रूपसंस्थाने नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शंखचक्र गदा शार्ंग गृहीत परमायुधे प्रसीद वैष्णवी रूपे नारायणी नमोस्तुते। गृहीतोग्र महाचक्रे दंष्ट्रोद्धृत वसुंधरे वराह रूपिणि शिवे नारायणी नमोस्तुते। नृसिंह रूपेणोग्रेण हंतुं दैत्यान् कृतोद्यमे त्रैलोक्य त्राण सहिते नारायणी नमोस्तुते। The Karpura Arati is concluded and the Pujaka and Tantra Dharaka are performing Sashtanga Pranama at the feet of Devi Durga. किरीटिनि महावज्रे सहस्र नयनोज्ज्वले वृत्र प्राणहरे चैन्द्री नारायणी नमोस्तुते। Salutations be to you, O Narayani, you who have a diadem and a great thunderbolt. You are dazzling with 1,000 eyes. You took away the life of Vritra, the demon. Salutation be to you, O Narayani. You have the form of Shivaduti. You slew the mighty hosts of the Daityas. You have a terrible form and a tremendous noise. Salutations be to you, O Narayani. You are the Chamunda, you are the slayer of Chanda and Munda. A large number of devotees have assembled in the Puja Mandapa. Revered Matajis, the nuns of the Sharada Math are present. The monks and brahmacharis of the Ramakrishna Sangha are present. Devotees have assembled to witness the puja, to make prayers, to make their offerings. Shodashopachara puja having completed, now another phase of the worship begins. In this phase, Devi's Parivara Devatas will be worshipped by various upacharas. Anga Shaktis of Devi Durga will be worshipped first. Today is the holy Navami Tithi of the Durga Puja. In the Puja Mandapa at Belur Math, Devi's Shodashopachara Puja is completed. Now the Parivara Puja, Parivara Devata Pujas begin. First, the 6 Anga Devatas of the Divine Mother Durga will be worshipped. There is Hridayanga Shakti, Shiranga Shakti, Shikhanga Shakti, Kavachanga Shakti, Netranga Shakti and Astranga Shakti. These are the 6 Anga Devatas of the Devi. Panchopachara Puja is done to each of these Devatas.
Isha Chandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Hrim Shirashe Swaha Shirong Shaktai Nama Om
Anga Shakti Puja will be followed by Avarana Devata Puja.
Shaktai Nama Iti Gandapushpe Om Hrum Shikhaya Iva Shatshikanga Shaktai Nama Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Hrum Shikhaya Iva Shatshikanga Shaktai Nama Isha Dhupa Om Hrum Shikhaya Iva Shatshikanga Shaktai Nama Isha Deepa Om Hrum Shikhaya Iva
The power or active aspect of the immanent God is called Shakti, because in this aspect God produces, God nourishes and maintains the whole universe. In her static, in her majestic and stately form, Devi has manifested as Mahishasura Mardini for the welfare of humanity and for the eradication of evil.
Isha Sachandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Rhaim Kabachaya Hum Kabachanga Shaktai Namaha Om Rhaim Kabachaya Hum Kabachanga Shaktai Namaha Isha Ganda Om Rhaum Netratraya Bhushat Netranga Shaktai Namaha.
In the Shakta Parampara, God is regarded as both power holder and the male Shiva, and as power or Shakti, the divine spouse and mother. God is both Shakti and Shakta. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devo Nakhalu Kushala Spanditumapi, says Adi Shankaracharya in the beginning of Saundarya Lahari. While Shiva represents the consciousness aspect of the real, Shakti is its aspect as mind, life and matter. He is the liberation aspect of the real. She is in the form of universe or samsara. Both are at root one. Shakta teaching in this respect is thus non-dualist, in the sense that Shiva and Shakti are both really one. Ishaganda Om Hrim Sri Mugra Chandai Nama Iti Gandapushpe Om Hrim Sri Mugra Chandai Nama Idam Swachandana Bilvadalam Om Hrim Sri Mugra Chandai Nama. Devi is described in the Ananda Lahari and in Saundarya Lahari. Adi Shankaracharya describes her as the supreme means to attain the supreme self. Devi's Avarana Pujas are being worshipped now. The Avarana Devatas of Devi Durga are worshipped as part of Devi's worship. There is a large number of devatas who are present encircling the Divine Mother. They attend on the Divine Mother, they serve and entertain her. They are always ready to run errands for the Mother and obey her orders instantly. These Avarana Devatas include the Ugra Chanda, Om Prachande Dharmade Nityam Suprite Suranaike Sarvanandakare Devi Tubhyang Nityang Namo Namaha Dakshinadale Neeladhvaja Chandogra
ॐ चण्डोग्रां नीलवर्णां तु सर्वभूताभयप्रदां दिव्याभरणसंयुक्तां लक्ष्मीरूपां च शरभुजां ईशगन्धो ॐ ह्रीं चण्डो ॐ ह्रीं
There
श्रीं
is
चण्डोग्राय
Chanda,
नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डोग्राय नमः इदं सचन्दनबिल्वदलम्
there
ॐ
is
ह्रीं श्रीं
Prachanda,
चण्डोग्राय नमः
there is
ईशदीप ॐ
Chandogra,
ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डोग्राय
Chandanayika,
नमः ईशदीप
Chandavati, Chandarupa, Ati Chandika, and Rudra Chandika.
श्रीं चण्डोग्रायै नमः इदं सोपकरणभागनैवेद्यम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डोग्रायै नमः
Each of these Avarana Devatas is represented by a flag.
चण्डोग्रे घोररूपा श्री सर्वभूताभयप्रदा सौम्या भूत्वा मयि सदा वरदा भव
which is
शोभने
placed
नैडितदल कर्पूरवर्णध्वज
near the
चण्डनायिका ओम अष्टभुजां
The worship is
महाभागां
performed
चण्डनायिकां कर्पूरवर्णां तु सर्वाणीं सर्वालङ्कारभूषितां
where these flags are installed representing these Avarana Devatas.
इदं सचन्दनबिल्वदलम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डनायिकायै नमः ईशधूप ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डनायिकायै नमः ईशदीप ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डनायिकायै नमः इदं सोपकरणभागनैवेद्यम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डनायिकायै नमः ईश सचन्दनपत्रपुष्पाञ्जलि ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं चण्डनायिकायै नमः
In the Durga Saptashati,
नाम्ना च गुणत्रयविभाविनी
Devi Durga destroyed a host of asuras,
धूम्रवर्णध्वज चण्डा
Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Raktabija, Nishumbha, Shumbha, Mahishasura,
रक्तवस्त्रालङ्कृतविग्रहाम्
among others. These asuras are the archetypes of evil ego. They revel in a life of pleasures of body and sense organs. Symbolically, these asuras represent various stages and states of egoism. If the smoky-eyed Dhumralochana stands for the grossest state of ignorance and egoism, the blood-born Raktabija represents a more subtle state which multiplies itself, and through that our troubles as well. While Munda is the low profile of our egoism, since Munda means the low, Chanda is the more horrible side of our ego, since Chanda means fierce. Shumbha and Nishumbha signify more brilliant and intense aspects of the evil ego, because Shumbha means brilliant. Dhumralochana was destroyed by the Devi by a hunkara, a sound of disapproval, a mere frown. Chanda and Munda were too mean to be handled by the Devi directly. Hence, Kali, the horrible, finished them at her behest. Raktabija required more skillful handling. The source of his strength was destroyed first before destroying him. As for Nishumbha and Shumbha, the Devi was obliged to give them a straight fight. After all, Durvritta Vritta Shamanam Tava Devi Shilam, it is Devi's habit to destroy the evildoers always. Durvritta Vritta Shamanam Tava Devi Shilam Rupam Tathaita Davicintya Matulya Mannehi Viryancha Hantra Kritadeva Parakramanam Vairishvapi Prakatitaiva Daya Tvayetha Kenopama Bhavatu Tesya Parakramasya Rupancha Shatru Bhayakari Atihari Kutra Chitte Kripa Samaranishthurata Cha Drishta Tvayeva Devi Varade Bhuvanatrayepi. ईशगंध ओम ह्रीं श्रीं रुद्रचंडिकाय नमः इति गंधपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं रुद्रचंडिकाय नमः इदं सचंदन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं रुद्रचंडिका बिल्पता In the Puja Mandap,
Ishadipa Om Rim Shrim
the
Rudrachandikaye
Avarana
Namaha.
Devatas of
Idam
Devi
Sopakarana
Durga
Bhagani
are,
Vidyam Om Rim
are
Shrim
being worshipped.
Rudrachandikaye Namaha.
The image of Devi Durga is the
Ishashandana
most
Patra
iconic
Pushpanjali Om
part
Rim Shrim
of the Durga
Rudrachandikaye
Puja.
Namam Rudrachande Namastubhyam Chandavairi Vinashini Sarva Papa Hari Devi Varada Bhava Sarvada.
Devi's image can have sometimes 4 hands or 8 or 10 or 18 or even 20 hands. In Belur Math, the image of Mother Durga has 10 hands. The eyes of the Devi are usually 3 in her depictions. The hair is sometimes dressed up as a crown called Karanda Mukuta, and sometimes it is shown as dishevelled. She is gorgeously dressed in red clothes and several ornaments. Among the objects held in her hand, the more common are the conch, the discus, trident, bow, arrow, sword, dagger, shield, rosary, wine cup, and a bell. Mother Durga may be sometimes shown standing on a lotus or on a head, or as riding a lion, the royal beast, is the mount of Devi Durga. She is Simhavahini. In the Durga Puja, the lion is worshipped as a form of the Lord Vishnu, reminding the devotees about the Narasimha Avatara the Lord took to protect his devotees from the dangers posed by the demons through contrived ways.
Gauriyai Namaha. Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Shrim Gauriyai Namaha. Isha Dhupa Om Rim Shrim Gauriyai Namaha. Isha Deepa Om Rim Shrim Gauriyai Namaha. Idam Sopakarana Bhagani Vidyam Om Rim Shrim Gauriyai Namaha. Isha Ganda
The
Om Rim Shrim
Avarana Puja
Indranyai Namaha. Ite Ganda
of
Pushpe Om Rim Shrim
Ugrachanda
Indranyai Namaha.
and
Idam
other
Sachandana
deities
Bilvadalam
is
Om Rim
followed
Shrim
by
Indranyai Namaha.
Chatushashti Yogini Puja.
Isha Om Rim Shrim Indranyai Namaha.
In Bengali, Chatushashti Yoginis are also called as Chaushati Yoginis. Chaushati means 64. These 64 Yogini Devatas are worshipped one by one using Pancha Upacharas. There is Brahmani, Chandika, Raudri, Gauri, Indrani, Kaumari, Bhairavi, Durga, Narasimhi, Kalika, Chamunda, Shivaduti, Varahi, Kaushiki, Maheshwari, Shankari, Jayanti, Sarvamangala, Kali, Karali, Medha, Shiva, Shakambhari, Bhima, Shanta, Bhramari, Rudrani, Ambika, Kshama, Bhatri, Swaha, Swadha, Archana, Mahodari, Ghorarupa, Mahakali, Bhadrakali, Kapalini, Kshemankari, Ugrachanda, Chandogra, Chandanayika, Chanda, Chandavati, Chandi, Mahamoha, Priyankari, Balavikarani, Balapramathini, Manonmathani, Sarvabhutadamani, Uma, Tara, Mahanidra, Vijaya, Jaya, Shailaputri, Chandika, Chandraghanta, Kushmanda,
Maheshwariyai Namah
Skanda
Shadupam
Mata,
Rim Singh Maheshwariyai Namah Shadupam
Katyayani,
Rim Singh Maheshwariyai Namah
Kalaratri,
Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidyam Om Rim
Maha
Singh
Gauri.
Maheshwariyai Namah Om Rim Singh Maheshwari Shankariyai Shakanda Om Rim Singh
These are
Shankariyai
the
Namah Itikanda
deities
Pushpa Om Rim Singh Shankariyai Namah Shadhu
who go by the
Om Rim
name
Singh
of
Shankariyai Namah Shadhu
Chatushashti
Om Rim Singh
Yoginis.
Shankariyai Namah Shadhi Om Rim Singh Shankariyai Namah Idam
Each
Sopakarana
of these
Bhagane Vidyam Om
deities
Rim Singh Shankariyai
is
Namah
individually worshipped
Jayanti Yeshakanda Om
with
Rim Singh
5
Jayanti Namah
offerings
Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Jayanti
as
Namah Idam
part of
Satandana Bilvadalam
Devi
Om Rim Singh
Durga's
Jayanti Namah
grand
Shadhu Om
worship,
Rim Singh
which is now
Jayanti Namah
taking
Shadhi
place in
Om
the
Rim
Puja
Singh
Mandapa.
Jayanti Namah Sarvamangalaye Yeshakanda Om Rim Singh Sarvamangalaye Namah Yeshakanda Om Rim Singh Sarvamangalaye Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Sarvamangalaye Namah Idam
Chatushashti
Satandana
Yogini
Bilvadalam
Puja
Om Rim
will
Singh
be followed by
Sarvamangalaye Namah Shadhu Om Rim
Navadurga
Singh
Puja.
Sarvamangalaye Namah Ishadeepa Om Rim Singh Sarvamangalaye Namah
9 special aspects of Devi
Om Rim
Durga,
Singh Kalye
9 different forms of Devi
Kalye
Durga.
Ishadhu Kalye Namah Ishadhupa Om Rim Singh Kalye Namah Ishadeepa Om Rim Singh Kalye Namah Isha Chatandana Patra Pushpanjali Om Rim Singh Om Karalinne Ishakanda Om Rim Singh Karalinne Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Karalinne Namah Isha Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Singh Karalinne Namah Ishadhupa Om Rim Singh Karalinne Namah Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidyam Om Rim
Various
Singh
forms of the
Om
Parashakti
Medhayai
are
Ishakanda
realized
Om Rim
by the
Singh
sages
Medhayai
of
Namah
the
Itikanda Pushpa
Sanatana
Om Rim
Dharma,
Singh Medhayai Namah Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim
and
Singh
they have
Medhayai Namah
prescribed
Ishadhupa Om Rim
various
Singh Medhayai
procedures
Namah
of
Ishadeepa
upasana
Om
of
Rim
these
Singh
forms of
Medhayai
the
Namah Idam
Devi
Sopakarana Bhagane
based
Vidyam
on the Adhikari Bheda,
Shivaya Yeshakanda Om
the
Rim Singh
differences
Shivaya Namah Idam Sachandana Pushpam
of the spiritual aspirants.
Om Rim Singh Namah Ishadhupa Om Rim Singh Shivaya Namah
Tantra
Ishadeepa Om Rim Singh
is not
Shivaya Namah
an
Idam Sopakarana
exclusive
Bhagane Vidyam Om
term
Rim Singh Shivaya Namah
that refers to the
Shakambharya
worship of the
Yeshakanda Om
Shakti.
Rim Singh Shakambharya Namah
Shakta
Itikanda Pushpa
Tantra
Om Rim
is
Singh
one
Shakambharya Namah
among the
Idam
many
Satandana
traditions
Bilvadalam
of
Om
the
Rim Singh
Tantra
Shakambharya Namah
that
Ishadhupa
developed
Om
in
Rim Singh
India
Shakambharya Namah Ishadeepa Om Rim
and
Singh
is still
Shakambharya
practiced
Namah
in
Idam
India and elsewhere.
Shakambharya Bhimaya
There
Yeshakanda
is
Om Rim Singh
Shaiva
Bhimaya
Tantra,
Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Bhimaya Namah Idam
which is
Sachandana
also
Bilvadalam Om Rim
called
Singh
the
Bhimaya Namah
Agama
Ishadhupa
Shastra.
Om Rim Singh Bhimaya Namah
There is, of course,
Ishadeepa
the
Om Rim Singh
Shakta Tantra,
Bhimaya
which
Namah
is
Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidyam Om
in which
Bhimaya
Shakti is the supreme
Shantaye
deity.
Ishakanda Om Rim Singh Shantaye Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh
There
Shantaye
is
Namah Idam
also
Sapaka
Ganapatya Tantra, in which Ganapati is
Ishadupa
the
Om Rim
chief
Singh
deity of
Shantaye Namah
worship.
Ishadeepa Om Rim Shantaye Namah Idam
Saura
Sopakarana Bhagane
Tantra,
Vidyam
in
Shant
which Sun
Om
is the
Rim Singh Shanta
primordial force
Bhramariyai
and
Ishakanda
supreme
Om Rim
god.
Singh Bhramariyai Namah Itikanda
And
Pushpa Om Singh
there are
Bhramariyai Namah
Vaishnava
Idam Sachandana
Tantras
Bilvadalam Om Rim Singh Bhramariyai Namah
like
Ishadupa Om Rim Singh
Pancharatra
Bhramariyai Namah
and
Deepa Om Rim Singh
Vaikhanasa
Bhramariyai Namah Idam
traditions,
Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam
in which
Bhramariyai Namah Om Rim
Narayana
Singh
is the
Bhramariyai
chief deity.
Rudranyai Ishakanda Om Rim Singh Rudranyai Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Rudranyai Namah Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om
In the
Rim Singh
Shakta
Rudranyai Namah
tradition,
Ishadupa Om Rim Singh
there are
Rudranyai
many
Namah Ishadeepa Om Rim
sub-schools
Singh
of
Rudranyai Namah Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam Om Rim Singh Rudranyai Namah
the chief
Ambikayai
ancient tradition of
Ishakanda Om Rim
Shakta
Singh
worship,
Ambikai Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om
and there
Singh
are many
Ambikai Namah Idam Sachandana
denominations.
Bilvadalam Om Singh Ambikai Namah
3
Ishadupa Om
of
Rim
these
Singh Ambikai Namah
paramparas
Ishadeepa Om Rim Singh Ambikai
are
Namah Idam
specially
Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam
recognizable:
Om Rim Singh Ambikai Namah
Dakshinachara, Kaula
Shamayai
Marga, and
Ishakanda Om Rim Singh Shamayai
Samayachara.
Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Shamayai Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Singh Shamayai Namah
The
Ishadupa Om Rim
Dakshina
Singh Shamayai
Tantra
Namah
of the
Ishadeepa Om
Shakta
Rim Singh
tradition
Shamayai Namah Idam Sopakarana
incorporates
Bhagane
the
Vidam Om
Vedic
Rim Singh
practices
Shamayai
more
Namah
closely and
Dhatrei
abundantly.
Ishakanda Om Rim Srim Dhatrei Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Srim Dhatrei
In
Namah
the
Idam
Kaula
Sachandana
Marga,
Bilvadalam Om Rim Srim Dhatrei Namah
yogic
Ishadupa Om
practices
Rim
take
Srim
the
Dhatrei
center
Namah Ishadeepa Om
stage.
Rim Srim Dhatrei Namah Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam
Kundalini
Om Rim
Yoga
Srim
is
Dhatrei
an
Namah
inseparable part
Swaha
of the
Yai
Kaula
Ishakanda Om
Tantra.
Rim Srim Swaha Yai Namah Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Srim Swaha Yai Namah Ishadupa
The
Om Rim Srim
third
Swaha Yai Namah Ishadeepa Om Rim Srim
important
Swaha Yai Namah Idam
parampara
Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam Om Rim Srim
that we can
Swadha
recognize
Yai Ishakanda
still
Om
in
Rim
the
Srim
Shakta
Swadha Yai Namah
tradition
Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Srim
is
Swadha
the
Yai Namah Idam
Samayachara
Sachandana
tradition.
Bilvadalam Om Rim Srim Swadha Yai Namah Ishadupa Om
Samayachara
Rim Srim
is
Swadha Yai Namah
mainly a
Shadeepa
mental
Om Rim Srim
process of
Swadha Yai Namah
sadhana.
Idam Sopakarana Bhagane Vidam
In
Om
the Samayachara,
Archana Yai
external
Ishakanda Om Rim
upacharas
Srim
are not
Archana Yai
important.
Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Srim Archana Yai Namah Idam Sachandana Om Rim Srim Archana Yai Namah Ishadupa Om Rim Srim
Samayachara is
Archana
an
Yai Namah
upasana
Ishadeepa Om Rim Srim
paddhati
Archana Yai Namah Idam Sopakarana Bhagane
which is
Vidam Om Rim
mostly
Srim Archana
practiced
Yai
by the
Namah
monks belonging to the Advaitic
Mahodari
tradition of
Om
Sri
Ishakanda Om Rim
Shankaracharya.
Sri Mahodari Nama Itikanda Pushpa Om Rim Sri Mahodari Nama Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Sri Mahodari Nama Ishadupa Om Rim Sri
Saundarya
Mahodari
Lahari
Nama Ishadupa Om Rim Sri Mahodari Nama
is a famous scripture
Ghoro
composed by
Rupaye
Adi Shankaracharya, which prescribes the nuances of the Samayachara form of worship.
महाकाल्यै एष गन्ध ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महाकाल्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महाकाल्यै नमः इदं सचन्दन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महाकाल्यै
In the Dakshinachara and Samayachara, Shri Yantra is used as an object of worship and meditation.
भद्रकाल्यै एष
In
गन्ध
the
ओम ह्रीं श्रीं
Kaulachara,
भद्रकाल्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं भद्रकाल्यै नमः इदं सचन्दन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं भद्रकाल्यै नमः
the rituals and symbolism are distinct from that of the other two. Kaulachara is more predominant in northeastern states of India, especially in Bengal. The rituals and symbolism are distinct in Kaulachara from the other two traditions of the Tantra, namely Dakshinachara and Samayachara. Kaula tradition preserves some of the distinctive features of the ancient Kapalika tradition of Shaivism. In Kaula Marga, there are many subdivisions, each having a particular form of the Devi as the object of its devotion, and each possessing a separate category of books and practices. In the Kulachara, the Dashamaha Vidyas are worshipped with special importance. These are the 10 wisdom goddesses, 10 special manifestations of Devi Durga. These Dasha Mahavidyas, the wisdom goddesses, are invoked and worshipped as part of the Durga Puja as well. Kali, Tara, Tripura Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagalamukhi, Matangi and Kamala are the 10 Mahavidyas of the Shakta Sampradaya.
महामोहाय येष गन्ध ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महामोहाय नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महामोहाय नमः इदं सचन्दन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महामोहाय नमः ईश धूप ओम ह्रीं श्रीं महामोहाय नमः ईश दीप
Chatushashti Yogini Puja is now taking place in the Puja Mandap.
प्रियंकर्यै येष गन्ध ओम ह्रीं श्रीं प्रियंकर्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं प्रियंकर्यै नमः इदं सचन्दन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं प्रियंकर्यै नमः ईश धूप ओम ह्रीं श्रीं प्रियंकर्यै नमः बलविकरण्यै येष गन्ध ओम ह्रीं श्रीं बलविकरण्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं बलविकरण्यै नमः इदं सचन्दन बिल्वदलम् ओम ह्रीं श्रीं बलविकरण्यै
Today is the Maha Navami Tithi of the Durga Puja. Maha Navami is on the 9th lunar day of the Shukla Paksha in the month of Ashwin. ओम ह्रीं श्रीं मनोन्मथन्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं मनोन्मथन्यै नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे ओम ह्रीं श्रीं मनोन्मथन्यै नमः Today, on the Maha Navami Tithi, the 9th lunar day of the Shukla Paksha in the month of Ashwin, Devi Durga's elaborate worship is taking place in the Puja Mandapa at Belur Math, the headquarters of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, founded by Swami Vivekananda. The Swamis and Brahmacharyans of the Ramakrishna order and a large number of devotees are present in the Puja Mandapa. Om Rim Sim Tarai Nama Maha Nidraye Yeshaganda Om Rim Sim Maha Nidraye Nama Iteganda Pushpe Om Rim Sim Maha Nidraye Nama. The Maha Navami Tithi is the 9th day of the Navaratri festival. Each day of Navaratri
Vijayaya Yeshagandha
venerates
Om Rim
a
Shrim Vijayaya
specific
Nama
form of
Itikanda Pushpe
Devi
Om Rim
Durga.
Shrim Vijayaya Nama Idam Satandana
These
Bilvadalam Om
forms
Rim
of
Shrim
Devi
Vijayaya Nama
Durga are
Eshadhupa Om Rim
collectively
Shrim
called
Vijayaya Nama Eshadhipa
Navadurga.
Om Rim Shrim Vijayaya Nama Idam Sopakarana Bhaganaividyam Om Rim Shrim
Many
Vijayaya
aspects
Nama Om
of
Rim
Devi
Shrim Vijayaya
Durga,
Nama
the
Jayaya Yeshagandha Om
Parashakti,
Rim
are
Shrim Jayaya Nama
mentioned in the
Itikanda Pushpe Om Rim
Puranas and
Shrim Jayaya Nama
Agamas.
Eshadhup Idam Satandana
These
Bilvadalam Om Rim
forms
Shrim
are
Jayaya Nama Eshadhupa Om Rim Shrim
legion.
Jayaya Nama
Shailaputri,
Eshagandha Om Rim Shrim Shailaputrai Nama
Kushmanda,
Etikanda Pushpe Om Rim Shrim
Katyayani,
Shailaputrai Nama
Kshemankari, Harasiddhi,
Ishadhandana Bilvadalam Om
Vanadurga,
Rim Shrim Shailaputrai Nama
Vindhyavasini,
Eshadupa Om Rim Shrim
Jayadurga
Shailaputrai Nama Eshadeepa Om Rim Shrim Shailaputrai Nama
are
Idam Sopakarana Bhaganaividyam Om Rim Shrim
some of
Shailaputrai
these
Nama
aspects of the Divine Mother. They are
Chandikaye
represented in a wide
Ishagandha Om Rim
variety
Shrim
of
Chandikaye Nama
forms
Etikanda Pushpa
in
Om Rim Shrim
traditional
Chandikaye Namaha
iconography.
Eshadeepa
Again, there is the concept of Navadurga,
Shrim Chandikaye Nama
the
Eshadeepa Om Rim
9
Shrim
principal
Chandikaye Nama Idam
forms of
Sopakarana
Devi Durga.
Bhaganaividyam Om Rim Shrim Chandikaye Nama Chandaghantaye Eshagandha Om Rim
These
Shrim
forms are
Chandaghantaye Nama Etikanda Pushpa Om Rim Shrim Chandaghantaye Nama
particularly
Eshadhupa Om
venerated
Rim Shrim
during the
Chandaghantaye
Navaratri.
Nama Eshadhipa Om Rim Shrim
Shailaputri,
Chandaghantaye Nama Idam Sopakarana
Brahmacharini,
Bhaganaividyam Om Rim Shrim Chandaghantaye
Chandraghanta,
Nama Om Rim Shrim Chandaghantaye Nama
Kushmanda,
Kushmandye
Skanda
Eshagandha Om Rim
Mata,
Shrim Kushmandye Nama Etikanda
Katyayani,
Pushpa Om Rim Shrim
Kalaratri,
Kushmandye Nama
Mahagauri, and Siddhidatri. These Navadurgas are also worshipped as part of the
Skandamatri
Navami
Eshagandha
Tithi
Om Rim Shrim
Puja.
Skandamatri Nama Etikanda Pushpa Om Rim Shrim Skandamatri Nama Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om Rim Shrim Skandamatri Nama
प्रथमं
Eshadhipa Om Rim Shrim
शैलपुत्रीति,
Skandamatri Nama Eshadhipa Om Rim
द्वितीयं
Shrim Skandamatri
ब्रह्मचारिणी,
Nama Dam Sopakarana
तृतीयं
Bhaganaividyam Om Rim Shrim
चंद्रघंटेति,
Skandamatri Nama Om Rim
कुष्मांडेति
Shrim Skandamatri Nama
चतुर्थकं,
Katyayanyai
पंचमं
Eshagandha Om Rim Shrim
स्कंदमातेति,
Katyayanyai Nama Etikanda
षष्ठं
Pushpa Om Rim Shrim
कात्यायनी तथा
Katyayanyai Nama Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om
सप्तमं
Rim Shrim
कालरात्रिश्च
Katyayanyai Nama Eshadhupa Om Rim
महागौरीति
Shrim
चाष्टमं,
Katyayanyai Nama Eshadhipa Om Rim
नवमं
Shrim Katyayanyai
सिद्धिदात्री
Nama
च
Idam Sopakarana
नवदुर्गाः
Bhaganaividyam Om Rim
प्रकीर्तिताः.
Shrim Katyayanyai Nama Om Rim Shrim Katyayanyai Eshagandha Om Rim Shrim Kalaratri Nama Etikanda Pushpa Om Rim Shrim Kalaratri Nama Idam Sachandana Bilvadalam Om
The
Rim Shrim
forms of Devi
Kalaratri Nama
Durga
Ida
called the
Eshadhupa Om Rim Shrim
Navadurgas
Kalaratri Nama
are
Eshadhipa Om
venerated
Rim
one
Shrim
by one
Kalaratri Nama Idam Sopakarana
consecutively
Bhaganaividyam Om
during
Rim
the
Shrim
9-day
Kalaratri Nama
festival
Om Rim
of
Shrim Kalaratri
Navaratri.
Nama Eshagandha Om Rim
In the
Shrim
Durga Puja
Mahagauriyai
tradition of
Om
Bengal,
Rim Shrim Mahagauriyai
the
Nama
last
Etikanda
3
Pushpa Om
days
Rim
of
Shrim
the
Mahagauriyai
Navaratri,
Namaha Idam
that
Satandana
is
Bilvadalam Om Rim Shrim
Saptami, Ashtami,
Mahagauriyai
and
Nama
Navami,
Eshadhupa Om Rim Shrim
are
Mahagauriyai Nama
specially considered
Eshadhipa
for
Om Rim Shrim
performing the
Mahagauriyai
puja
Nama Idam Sopakarana Bhaganaividyam Om
following
Rim Shrim
the
Mahagauriyai Nama
Shashthyadi Kalpa
Eshagatan
of Shri Raghunandana. And in Bengal, the
Satandana
image
Tattva
of Mother
Pushpanjali
Durga
Om
is
Rim Shrim
modeled as
Brahmanyadi
the
Chatushashti
Mahishasura
Yoginibhyo
Mardini
Namaha Om
during the
Rim Shrim
Sharadiya
Brahmanyadi
Puja.
Chatushashti Yoginibhyo Namaha Koti Yogini
But while
Eshagandha Om
performing the
Rim Shrim Koti
rituals, Devi
Yoginibhyo Nama
Durga's
Itegandha Pushpa Om
different
Rim Shrim Koti
bhavas,
Yoginibhyo Nama
the
Idam
divine
Sachandana Bilvadalam
aspects,
Om Rim Shrim
are
Koti
also taken
Yoginibhyo
into
Namaha
account for meditation and for performing the sacred rites.
Deep Eshadeepa Om Rim Shrim Koti
Siddhidatri is the
Yoginibhyo
form of
Namaha Deep
Mother Durga venerated especially on the Navami Tithi in the Navaratri tradition.
Om Rim Shrim Koti Yoginibhyo Namaha
Siddhidatri means the
Koti
bestower
Yogini Koti Yogini
of perfect
तस्मै
result.
सोपकर्ण नैवेद्याय नमः तस्मै सोपकर्ण नैवेद्याय नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे तस्मै सोपकर्ण नैवेद्याय नमः
या
इति
सिद्धिं
गन्धपुष्पे
ददाति
तदधिपतये देवाय
सा
श्रीविष्णवे नमः इति गन्धपुष्पे
सिद्धिप्रदा सिद्धिदात्री.
सम्प्रदानेभ्यो कोटियोगिनीभ्यो नमः
Siddhidatri
फट् फट् फट्
Durga
ओम
grants
सुप्रसिद्धमस्तु ओम श्री विष्णु
perfection in
पुंडरीकाक्ष
every
पुनातु
activity that her devotees undertake. She motivates her devotees to lead a disciplined life that is spiritually beneficial.
ओम ह्रीं श्रीं
Worshipping
कोटियोगिनीभ्यो
her
नमः
with
ओम ह्रीं श्रीं
complete devotion will
कोटियोगिनीभ्यो नमः
appease Siddhidatri,
पुष्पांजलि
who in turn will bless the spiritual aspirant with great siddhis and spiritual illumination. Devi Durga is worshipped as the Mahishasura Mardini in the Durga Puja. Mahishasura was the demon with extraordinary powers. However, the Asuras always lost their battle against the gods. Tired of constantly being defeated, Mahishasura pledged to change things. Sacrificing his sleep, food, and all comforts of life, he meditated on Brahma, the creator of the universe and all creatures, for many years. He, with unwavering devotion and focus, prayed to Brahma, but Mahishasura's penances were selfish and for terrorizing the world. He was adamant in his goal. Brahma had no other way. Brahma appeared in front of Mahishasura and said to him to ask for whatever he wanted, and his wish would be granted. Mahishasura asked Brahma for a boon that would make him invincible. Ajaya. Let no man or God be able to defeat me, he said.
Mangala Kali,
But Devi Durga
Bhadrakali,
defeated him.
Kapalini, Durga Shiva,
Pushpanjali is being performed in the
Shamadhatri,
Puja Mandapa by the senior
Swaha
monks of
Swadha,
the Ramakrishna order.
Namostute, Esha, Sachandana, Patra Pushpanjali, Om Takshayagga, Vinashinyai, Mahaghorayai, Yogini, Koti, Paribritayai, Bhadrakalyai, Ring Om, Durgayai Namaha.
Being the Mahishasura Mardini, the Divine Mother Sri Durga ended the terror brought upon heaven and earth, which had been almost toppled by Mahishasura and his retinue. Since then, the day is celebrated as Maha Navami and the final day as the Vijaya Dashami, the festival of Mother's victory over the evil forces. The story of Mahishasura Mardini is the story of the victory of good over evil by the divine intervention of the Parashakti.